Chapter 736. Grandpa Xing's chest kept heaving as if he was trying hard to adjust his emotions. Mr. Xing, let's go. The police urged Xing Bowen, reminding him not to waste any more time. Xing Bowen did not say anything else. He had nothing to say to someone like Xing Kai. He only said to Grandpa Xing, "Grandpa, don't be angry. It's your birthday today. Don't forget that eighth brother is still here. If something really happened to me, he wouldn't be so calm. Trust me, an eighth brother. Don't let those people take advantage of us. I'll be back soon." Grandpa Xing did not look at Xing Kai's direction. He only said to Xing Bowen, "I won't let anything happen to my grandson." To Xing Kai this was a slap in the face. In the past, Grandpa Xing loved eighth brother. Now he doted on third brother. But he never really cared about second brother. Xing Kai watched coldly as Xing Bowen was taken away. Then he pulled Gu Xiling and squatted down to pick up the gift that Grandpa Xing had thrown away. Then he handed it back to Grandpa Xing. "Grandpa, it's such a good day today. Why are you angry?" Grandpa Xing leaned on his walking stick. His eyes were sharp and vicious. "If anything happens to third brother, I won't let you go even if I die." Xing Kai sneered. Then he threw away the gift and said to Grandpa Xing, "Third brother, eighth brother, even sixth brother and seventh brother have been doted on by you. But what about me? Who cares about me? If something happens to third brother, it's his own fault. He did something illegal and implicated Huang Yao. How can you blame it on me indiscriminately? Just because I was kicked out by you. Look at you. You dote on eighth brother, but he doesn't want you. You dote on third brother, but he did such a disgraceful thing. What's the use of you?" Grandpa Xing was so agitated that his face turned red. Mu Qiqi immediately shielded him behind her. Grandpa Xing did not know where this little girl got her courage and strength from. She was so small, but she came to protect an old thing like him. Looking at eighth brother, he still did not say a word. It was as if he did not care about this at all. "Grandpa, go sit next to Xiao. Watch the show. Go." Old Xing did not understand and was pushed to Xing Xiao by Mu Qiqi. Meanwhile, Mu Qiqi faced them confidently, even crossing her arms and lifting a brow. "I'm guessing you've been waiting outside for a long time, haven't you?" When he saw the police come in, he quickly followed behind them. "Is this a good show?" "Mu Qiqi, why are you everywhere?" Gu Xiling said mockingly. "How is it our responsibility when the Xing family has a scandal? Today we came to celebrate Grandpa's birthday with good intentions. You're being kind? If you were really kind-hearted, you wouldn't have tried to sow discord between the Hu family and the Xing family a few days ago." Gu Xiling, seeing Hu Ran going out of control, "You must be very angry and upset, right? You." Gu Xiling was at a loss for words. "I know. Xing Kai is here to give Grandpa a gift. Since he has already given it to him, you can leave now." Mu Qiqi pointed at the hotel entrance. "Forgive me for not seeing you off." Seeing this, Xing Kai could not help but laugh. "Mu Qiqi, you probably don't know what mistake Xing Bowen has made this time, do you? The news has already spread like wildfire. Are you still in the mood to celebrate your birthday here? Do you know how long the diacetyl morphine found in Huang Yao's warehouse will be enough for him to stay in prison? You're still boasting shamelessly. Let me tell you, even if Xing Xiao comes forward, he can't be saved. Not only that, but the Xing family can't be saved either." When old Xing heard this, he was about to get excited again, but Xing Xiao stopped him. "Look at the old man's face. How anxious he is. This is retribution for giving power to third brother and chasing me out of the family." Mu Qiqi could not help but laugh out loud when she heard Xing Kai's emotional sigh. She really found it funny. "What are you laughing at?" Xing Kai asked Mu Qiqi. "Do you think the Xing family can escape this time? Why can't they escape?" Mu Qiqi laughed so hard that her stomach hurt. "Please, even if we all know that you planned all of this, please cover it up a little. Otherwise, the ones who will be embarrassed in the end will be you. I really thought that you would be able to put on a good show after so long. I didn't expect. You're still so retarded. If you don't believe me, look for yourself." Mu Qiqi gestured for Xing Kai to look at the door of the banquet hall. Xing Kai was about to speak, but he saw Xing Bowen, who had just been brought out by the police, walk back as if nothing had happened. That's right, he returned to the birthday banquet venue in front of everyone. Xing Kai was surprised, but he saw Xing Bowen return to old Master Xing's side and whisper to him, "Grandpa, I told you that everything is fine. Aren't I back now? Is it really fine?" That's impossible. Xianxia pointed at Xing Bowen. You're so sure of yourself. You won't be able to escape and you're still saying that you didn't plan this? Mu Qiqi snorted coldly. It's impossible for him to escape. Why was he released again? Let me tell you the answer. Because a few days ago we found out that there was a problem with a batch of counterfeit packaging boxes in Huang Yao's warehouse. A large amount of diacetylmorphine was put in the interlayer of the packaging box. What should we do? Someone framed us. We had no choice. Huang Yao immediately called the police and let the police investigate. These things have nothing to do with Huang Yao. The police are wise and powerful. They quickly proved Huang Yao's innocence. But who is it that wants to frame Huang Yao? We have to continue investigating. Impossible, absolutely impossible. Xianxia couldn't believe it. He thought that Mu Qiqi had been fabricating it. Fool, do you think everyone knows about diacetylmorphine? Your mole saw that it was something like white powder and hurriedly went to call the police. However, it was just lime powder that we had changed. The police verified that it wasn't diacetylmorphine, so of course they had to let him go. Xianxia's expression changed when he heard this. You're the stupidest. You wanted to enjoy the old man's anxious expression when the police arrested third brother. Your stupidest part was that you let Gu Xiling look for who ran and used her to deal with third brother. Isn't that a blatant lie? If you don't have the intelligence, don't come out and do stupid things. Just now your expressions were as smug as they were stupid. After hearing Mu Qiqi's words, Xianxia was very concerned at first. However, after thinking about it, he calmed down. Is that so? But I don't understand a single word you said. Chapter 737. I did so much for Huang Yao, but what happened? If Xing Bowen really did that kind of despicable thing, wouldn't you be angry if you were him? Mu Qiqi shook her head and almost choked Xianxia. I'm not angry. It doesn't matter if you don't admit it. Anyway, we already know who your mole is. Most importantly, you haven't forgotten who you sold the blueprints to, right? You want to use Third Master Long, but have you forgotten who he is? Xianxia, if I were you, I would be very troubled right now. Because the police have already suspected that you are the owner of that batch of diacetylmorphine from your plan. Do you think they will focus their investigation on you after investigating Huang Yao? You have no evidence. I don't have any evidence, but the mole does. Mu Qiqi approached Xianxia and said, Who are you showing off your intelligence in front of? Friend, there are so many seniors here and so many outstanding talents. What makes you think that your plan can deceive everyone and everyone? Do you see the man across from you? Regarding today's matter, he doesn't even want to look at you. Do you know why? Because it's too low level. He can't be bothered to waste his energy. Mu Qiqi pointed at Xianxia. Xianxia looked up at Xianxia. As expected, Xianxia was calm throughout the whole process. There was no trace of panic at all. The shame and anger in his heart rushed to his head. Dear guests, I'm really sorry for dirtying your eyes today. There was a small conflict with the Xing family, but everything has been resolved. I hope you won't take it to heart. What's the point of watching a good show with the hotel service? I'm serving the dishes. After apologizing to the guests, Mu Qiqi turned to look at Xianxia. Aren't you leaving? Do you want to stay here and be laughed at by others? Or do you want to stay here and watch everyone eat? Let me tell you, there is no place for you here. Not now, not in the future. At that moment, Xianxia wanted nothing more than to find a hole to hide in. He had come to enjoy Grandpa Xing's painful expression and Xing Bowen's regretful tears. However, he did not get to see anything. Instead, he was played by this family from beginning to end. It turned out that it wasn't that Xianxia didn't notice. He just kept quiet and lured him into taking the bait. Still not leaving? Grandfather and I have lost all faith because of you. Gu Xiling ran out of the banquet hall without a care for her image. She was so stupid to believe that Xianxia had the ability to defeat the Xing family again and again. She had laid low for so long and schemed for so long, but the Xing family treated it as a joke. Whenever Gu Xiling recalled Mu Qiqi's words and expression just now, she wanted to die of shame and anger. Why could Mu Qiqi be with Xianxia while she married such a disappointing husband? Xianxia had no choice but to leave Grandpa Xing's birthday party. What made him feel the most ashamed and resentful was that no one cared about his departure. No one even looked at him. It was as if he was just a clown who came to perform a comedy. Most importantly, Mu Qiqi had made this matter clear. Even if others did not have any evidence, third master long and the police would treat him as a target. This was like trying to steal a chicken only to end up losing the rice used to lure it. Xianxia left the banquet hall, but Gu Xiling had already driven away. She did not take her husband seriously at all. He was already living under someone else's roof. After being humiliated by Gu Xiling like this, he felt even more subservient. Wherever he went, he would be ostracized. However, he could only endure it. Old Master Sheng's birthday banquet continued with a climax. The guests also received the news one after another. The matter with Huang Yao was a complete misunderstanding. The thing found in Huang Yao's warehouse was just ordinary lime powder. It was not diacetylmorphine at all. At this moment, Xing Bowen and Xing Xiao were sitting on either side of the old man. The rest of the Xing family were also in a calm mood. The old man sighed. You knew about this a long time ago. Why didn't you say anything? If you had known earlier, you would have definitely been worried about my ability. Although I'm not like eighth brother who can strategize everything, I know how to ask for help. I also know how to unite and cooperate. Instead of making you worry all the time, it's better to let you worry for a while. This can be considered a precious gift from your descendants, Xing Bowen explained to the old man with a smile. These two little girls know about it too? The old man pointed at Mu Qiqi and Ren Yufei and asked Xing Bowen. Of course. The thing in the box was discovered by Shaoqi. People who study forensics are indeed different. Anything can attract her attention, Xing Bowen said. Xing Bowen raised his glass and clinked it with Mu Qiqi's. Your performance just now was wonderful. Really? I can perform better next time. Old Master Xing laughed when he heard that. This girl was born to fight. She was good at all kinds of fights. She was invincible in the world and had never lost a battle until now. It was no wonder that eighth brother did not even bother to move his butt from the beginning to the end. It was because he knew very well that everything was under their control. I'm afraid I'll never forget today's birthday. I thought I was going to lose my life here today. Xing Bowen did not expect the old man to care about him so much. Grandfather, as your grandson, this is the first time I've felt your worry. Humph. Old Master Xing snorted. Xing Kai's plan failed. There will definitely be a follow-up. He can't make such a big plan alone. Although eighth brother saw through it, he will definitely do it again. No matter what he wants to do or who he wants to deal with, eighth brother and I will definitely work together to stop him. He won't succeed, Xing Bowen said confidently. Don't forget that you still have a weird granddaughter-in-law. She's not to be trifled with. No matter what, today was a thrilling day for the old man. Is Huang Yao really fine? Has everything been dealt with? Don't worry. When we found this thing, eighth brother immediately called the police. The police dealt with it quickly and cleared Huang Yao of suspicion. But there's a problem now. We don't know how many Xing Kai's spies are in Huang Yao. The person who reported the case to the police is Xing Kai's spy. Now Xing Bowen was even more guarded against the employees of Huang Yao. I think it was this mole who paved the way for Xing Kai to come to Huang Yao to steal the blueprints. Chapter 738. When Mu Qiqi returned to her seat, Xing Xiao tilted his head and looked at her. Are you happy today? Why do you say that? Mu Qiqi was surprised. Don't I know you well enough? Isn't this what you like the most? Xing Xiao's eyes were handsome. When he lowered his head with his back to the light, he gave off a strong sense of oppression. Mu Qiqi could not stand it. Don't say it if you know I like it, Mu Qiqi said softly. Where's my present? Mu Qiqi reached out her hand and pinched Xing Xiao's thigh under the table. It's not the time for you to ask for a present, Xing Xiao smiled calmly. He did not chase away the little hand that was harassing his thigh. Instead, he continued chatting with Grandpa Shen. The lunch continued. The guests said that it was worth it to come today. They had watched a good show. It also made them believe that the future Huang Yao would be more brilliant than when Grandpa Xing was managing it. On the other hand, Gu Xiling selfishly drove away, leaving Xing Kai to take a taxi home. He knew that he had disappointed Gu Xiling's family today. But now he had to rely on Gu Xiling to make a comeback. So even if he was shameless, he still returned to Gu Xiling's house. But the current situation was that even the servants in the house did not bother to look at him. Gu Xiling even sat on the sofa and complained to her mother. Mom, I feel that I have a hard life. Why did I marry such a man? These words were harsh enough to the ears of others. But Xing Kai could still bear it. Xiling, You've embarrassed the whole family. You'd better wait for Grandpa to come back and make a decision. Anyway, I'm very disappointed in you now. Gu Xiling got up from the sofa and stormed back to the bedroom. Mama Gu glanced at Kai and shook her head helplessly. I really don't know why I agreed to marry Xiling to you. Kai said nothing and went to the garden alone with his tail between his legs. He knew that there was no place for him in this family. But he had nowhere else to go. He had planned this very well. Even Muchichi had said that if Gu Xiling had not gone to look for who ran, Xiao would not have found out. But in the end, Gu Xiling had pushed all the blame to him. If he was not living under someone else's roof, he would have kicked a woman like Gu Xiling far away. Why was he the only one living in such a sorry state among the Xing family? He was not convinced. After a whole day of excitement, Grandpa Xing just wanted a moment of peace. So after sending all the guests away, he said to Xing Bowen and the others, "You guys go too. Go and date. Let me fish with old Shen." Xing Bowen knew that he was annoyed by the noise for the whole day. He smiled and said, "Then we're really leaving. You can go home with old Shen." "Okay, let's go." The old man held his forehead in annoyance. He didn't want to suffer like this again during his birthday. Xing said. Kai Xing and Xing, Xing Xiao Xing, Xing Chichi. Xing not. No, I want to go home. With that, Xiao dragged Mu Chichi into the car. Why? Xing Bowen was confused. In the end, he could only say to Rin Yufei, "Since you're ignoring us, we can only go watch a movie by ourselves. Do you want to watch it?" "Anything is fine." Rin Yufei touched her arm and smiled. "Besides, you don't really want to drink with Chichi. Have I been seen through?" Xing Bowen laughed heartily and pulled Rin Yufei into his arms. He whispered in her ear, "I just want to pretend to be crazy and take advantage of you." Rin Yufei's face turned red, but she did not push Xing Bowen away. She enjoyed the ambiguity and sweetness of being in a relationship. She also longed to kiss this man. "Let's go watch a movie." Mu Chichi sat in the car and watched the two of them hugging each other on the road. She was extremely envious, so she turned to look at her man and said, "It's been a long time since we hugged each other like that. We're indeed an old couple. Are there no more passion?" Someone did not say anything. He just closed his eyes and took a nap. A married man starts to pay attention to his image and starts to dislike his wife. Xiao was still indifferent. However, just as Mu Chichi was about to continue nagging, Xiao suddenly pressed her against the back of the seat and forcefully sealed her thin lips. Once Mu Chichi was about to speak, Xiao would directly bite her lower lip, making it impossible for her to speak. The two of them kissed all the way. When they reached home, Mu Chichi's lips were already swollen. No one could look at them. In order not to be discovered by Mama Xing, Mu Chichi ran straight back to the bedroom. This made Mama Xing and Xiao ask Xiao in confusion, "What's wrong with Xiaoqi?" "It's nothing. I'm in a hurry to go to the bathroom. Your father and I didn't go today. Seems like we missed a good show. Second brother is really surprising." Xiao said a few words to Mama Xing and quickly returned to the bedroom. However, his expression did not show that he was in a hurry at all. Mu Chichi buried herself in the quilt. She planned to ignore this man for the whole night because her lips were really painful. A married woman has completely forgotten how willing she was when she had a crush on him. "If it were in the past, you wouldn't be angry no matter how I kissed you." Xiao sat on the edge of the bed and deliberately said that in a vengeful manner. Mu Chichi snorted coldly under the quilt. Xiao shook his head and did not say anything else. He took his bathrobe and went to the bathroom. Mu Chichi heard that there was no response from outside for a long time. She poked her head out and found that the damn man had actually gone to take a shower by himself. Mu Chichi took the opportunity to look at her school bag. Then she took out a small, exquisite box. When Xiao was not paying attention, she sneaked into the study and put the box on Xiao's desk. The cufflinks she gave Xiao were treated like a treasure by this man. In the end, it was because she had given this man too little. This thing was also carved by herself. Although it was not as exquisite as the ones sold outside, it was all her sincerity. After quietly putting away the things, she returned to the bed as if nothing had happened. After the man came out of the bathroom, she went in to take a shower. Because this man had a habit of staying in the study for a while every day. Today was no exception. Xiao followed his habit. He wrapped himself in a black bathrobe and entered the study. However, his gaze was instantly attracted by the small wooden box on the table. Just like the big box he gave the old man during the day, it looked inconspicuous from the outside. Xianxia smiled faintly. It seemed that he would have to get this little one to drink more in the future. Chapter 739. Xianxia walked to the desk and gently picked up the box. He opened it and saw 3 neat rows of wooden bookmarks. Each bookmark was carved into various decorative patterns. Considering his identity, this little thing must have spent a lot of effort to restrain itself from carving flowers and trees. Instead, it carved these textured patterns. It was probably because most of the books in the study had their legs broken by him. That was why this little thing thought of making such a set. In his hand, it was as thin as a cicada's wing. But it was so thin. The possibility of it breaking was very high, wasn't it? Xianxia thought about it and called Su Che. Come over early tomorrow. There's something I need you to take care of. The great chief Xing was going to preserve this thing and then seal it. At the very least, he had to be able to take out the things the little thing gave him until he died. Because of Mu Qiqi's gifts, Xianxia spent a little more time in the study. He carefully took out each of them and studied them before putting them away. At first he was very disdainful when old Master Xing got his walking stick and couldn't let it go. But now. Then he returned to the bedroom as if nothing had happened. He saw that Mu Qiqi was already lying on the bed with her back facing him. Xianxia lay down and forced Mu Qiqi to turn over. What? Mu Qiqi asked in annoyance. I received the gift, Xianxia said calmly as he hugged her. Humph. Mu Qiqi snorted. If she had known that she would be kissed swollen, she wouldn't have prepared any gift for him. Take revenge however you want. I won't fight back, Xianxia promised in her ear. Really? Mu Qiqi looked up in disbelief. But when she thought about it, this person was obviously pleased by the gift. That was why he was so generous. I'll owe you for today. I'll settle the score with you later. But my lips really hurt tonight. They're burning. Xianxia lowered his head and hooked her chin to take a look. It was true. So he immediately got out of bed and applied some anti-inflammatory medicine. If you say something heartless again in the future, I'll teach you a lesson again. After Mu Qiqi heard this, she immediately turned her back to him. Xianxia hugged her from behind and comforted her softly. Isn't it enough for you to throw a tantrum all the way here? I can't do anything to you. At night, Grandpa Gu went out and returned home. When he saw Gu Xiling and her daughter sitting on the sofa with a gloomy expression, he knew what they were doing. When I get home I see your faces. Are you trying to make me feel bad? Grandfather, what happened in the Xing family today? Gu Xiling immediately wanted to explain, unwilling to lose her grandfather's love for Xing Kai. But she was interrupted by Grandpa Gu. Where's Xing Kai? Grandpa Gu asked. Why don't I see him? He's been in the garden all day. He doesn't have the face to come in. Gu Xiling's eyes were red as she answered sorrowfully. Bastard, no matter what, he is still your husband. How can you lock your own husband outside the door? Grandpa Gu reprimanded Gu Xiling. A man's dignity shouldn't be trampled on like this. You'll only make him more depressed. But you saw what happened today, grandfather. He definitely doesn't have the ability or the means to fight the Xing family. What hope do I have? Gu Xiling cried. You know that I like capable men. I just want the strongest husband. You have to be clear. You're already married. Your husband can be a coward, but you can't marry me again. Grandfather. Go and call him in, Grandpa Gu ordered sternly. Gu Xiling wiped her tears and walked toward the garden unwillingly. A moment later, Xing Kai entered the living room. When he saw Grandpa Gu, he didn't have enough confidence. He felt that he hadn't met Grandpa Gu's expectations. If you didn't do well, that's a man's problem. You shouldn't be stepped on by a woman. Xing Kai, although my granddaughter is mine, if you can't even deal with her, how are you going to deal with the Xing family? That's impossible. I want to hear the reason for the failure of the plan now. Tell me the main reason. Xing Kai had been thinking in the garden for an entire day. In addition, the humiliation that Gu Xiling had given him today was really unbearable. Therefore he was ready to fight to the death. In the previous plan there was only Third Master Long and a spy. The things had been successfully sent to Huang Yao and no one had discovered them. However, Xiling said that she wanted to deal with Hu Ran and asked me to arrange a spy to let Hu Ran and the Xing family kill each other. It was precisely because she exposed too much in front of Hu Ran that the plan was discovered by Xiao. When Gu Xiling heard Xing Kai's explanation, she pointed at him and shouted, "Are you shameless?" You heard it too. Even at the scene today, Mu Qiqi said the same thing. You shouldn't have joined the plan at all, and you shouldn't have tried to use and humiliate Hu Ran for your own selfish desires. Isn't taking revenge on the Xing family your selfish desires? Gu Xiling laughed. Let me tell you, Xing Kai. Without me you're nothing. It's even more impossible for you to have these opportunities to take revenge on the Xing family. When Grandpa Gu heard this, he reached out to stop Gu Xiling. Xiling, go back to your room. Grandpa. The problem is you. Don't you realize your mistake at all? Woman, don't be so domineering. If you're domineering, how can Kai grow up? Gu Xiling looked at her grandfather in disbelief. She really didn't expect her grandfather to stand on the side of an outsider. I'll go. Gu Xiling ran away as she cried and shouted. Mama Gu also chased after Gu Xiling. At this time, Grandpa Gu said to Xing Kai earnestly, I shouldn't be the one to teach you how to educate a woman. However, you've spoiled Xiling too much. A woman shouldn't interfere in a man's matters. But Xing Kai had never expected that the man in front of him would actually stand on his side instead of helping his granddaughter humiliate him. Your godfather is still very satisfied with you. He's not disappointed in you. So study hard. One day you'll be able to achieve what you want. Thank you, Grandpa. Now go back to your room and control your woman. Don't let her ruin any of your plans. Xing Kai's attitude towards this old man was a little strange. Gu Xiling was his biological granddaughter. No matter what, he did not lose Grandpa Gu's support. That meant that he was not in a desperate situation yet. Moreover, it was Grandpa who allowed him to teach Gu Xiling a lesson, wasn't it? Moreover, Grandpa was right. He shouldn't have accommodated Gu Xiling from the beginning. Chapter 740. After returning to the room, Xing Kai saw Gu Xiling sitting on the sofa and throwing a tantrum. Her eyes were glaring at him aggressively. Before Xing Kai could say anything, Gu Xiling threw the cosmetic bottle on the table at him. I don't have a husband like you. Xing Kai did not dodge. Blood flowed from his forehead. Then he grabbed Gu Xiling's neck and said fiercely, You're already married. It's too late to regret it. If you humiliate and trample on me like this again in the future, I'll drag you down with me. Gu Xiling, try it if you don't believe me. Gu Xiling was so frightened by Xing Kai that she did not dare to move. Although they usually quarreled, Xing Kai's gaze had never been so ferocious. It was frightening. It was as if she continued to quarrel, Xing Kai would really break her neck. Xing Kai saw that she was not resisting, so he let go of her hand. He stood up and said to her, What you should be thinking about now is how to get pregnant and stabilize your position in front of grandfather. If there's a next time and the plan still fails, I'll drag you to hell with me. You can't give birth at all. How can I get pregnant? Then think of a way. Gu Xiling sat on the sofa and burst into tears. She had never thought that one day her life would be so miserable and that she would be hurt so badly by a man. However, in Mu Qiqi's opinion, Xing Kai and Gu Xiling were already twisted enough. How could they hope to live a normal life? That was strange. The midnight movie had just ended. At 1:30 a.m. Xing Bowen brought Rin Yufei out of the cinema. At this moment there were no people on the streets. Xing Bowen took Rin Yufei for a walk home. After all, it was only 10 minutes away from Rin Yufei's apartment. It's been many years since I've watched a movie like this. On the way back, Xing Bowen held Rin Yufei's hand and said, I still remember the last time I watched a movie was when I first arrived in America. Isn't young master's life beautiful? Grandfather used to be very mean to everyone, even eighth brother. So the brothers actually didn't have a happy childhood in the Xing family. Eighth brother had it the hardest at that time. Because of his existence, the other brothers had the opportunity to go abroad to manage the branch company, Xing Bowen explained. Xing Bowen explained. Grandpa has high standards for everyone, so our lives are really boring. Therefore, it's even more impossible for you to understand the joy we had when we were kids barefoot on the street. The two of them were like old friends who had been talking to each other for many years. Soon, the two of them arrived at Rin Yufei's apartment. At that moment, Xing Bowen wished that his car had been stolen and that it would not appear in front of him. I'm home. It's too late, you should go home and rest. Rin Yufei did not see through Xing Bowen's intentions. He should have had enough of her in the cinema today. A man who was almost 30 years old had his first awakening of love and had already used all kinds of ways to act shamelessly. Xing Bowen did not say anything. Seeing that Rin Yufei was about to walk to the entrance of the corridor, he suddenly had the courage to go forward and grab Rin Yufei's wrist. He asked her, "Tonight can I stay?" After Rin Yufei heard this, her heart began to beat faster. She was completely stunned on the spot. Seeing that she did not respond, Xing Bowen carried her in his arms and quickly walked up the apartment building. Then, like a child, he entered Rin Yufei's room. In fact, he was also very nervous, but he always felt that during this period of time with Rin Yufei, he had already developed a deep dependence and desire for her. He really wanted to have her from body to heart. After entering, the atmosphere was a little awkward because Rin Yufei did not know what would happen next. The bed in her room was small to begin with. As she thought about it, Rin Yufei's face turned even redder. However, Xing Bowen did not let her escape. He sat on Rin Yufei's small bed and said to her, "Yufei, come over here." Rin Yufei was a little hesitant, but she could not control her footsteps. When she got closer, Xing Bowen directly pulled her onto his legs and kissed her like a storm. Rin Yufei was a little uncomfortable at first because he was using too much force. However, when she thought that this was the feeling in the depths of his heart, Rin Yufei no longer had any burdens and could not help but respond. The fiery entanglement turned into an intense tumble. Their consciousness gradually faded away, and all that was left was their infatuation for each other. After spring, they wore less clothes, so it was exceptionally convenient to take them off. When Rin Yufei regained consciousness, she saw Xing Bowen's bronze-colored chest and abdominal muscles. She did not dare to go any further. Xing Bowen grabbed her hand and placed it on his waist. He encouraged her. "Yufei, other than when I was young, you're the first woman who has been looked at like this by my mother without any restraints." Rin Yufei remembered that there seemed to be such a thing. This man and Hu Ran had been married for so long, but the two of them had not had sex. So she was really his first woman. "I want you. I want you now, but I also know that you still have concerns in your heart. If you say that you still have to think about it, then we'll stop. I'll continue to endure it, but if you're like me, eager to get each other, then don't talk so much." Rin Yufei turned her face away in embarrassment and said such a suggestive sentence. Xing Bowen was overjoyed. He no longer had to control his feelings and desires. It was just that this was the first time for both of them, so the process was not so smooth. However, it was also the most primitive impulse that made the two of them even more inseparable and unable to control themselves. In the midst of their passion, Xing Bowen did not forget to ask Rin Yufei, "Yufei, are you afraid of getting pregnant? If you don't want to have a child so early, then I will also stop." Xing Bowen was almost 30 years old and she was not young anymore. Moreover, she liked children very much, so she did not reject having a new life coming into this world at all. However, being pregnant before marriage, would it be a little unpleasant to hear about it? If you're worried about the status, then we'll go and register tomorrow. Don't you need to ask Grandpa? Grandpa asked me to marry you as soon as possible, Xing Bowen whispered into Rin Yufei's ear. Rin Yufei trembled uncontrollably because that was her sensitive area. "Forget it. We'll have children when we're both prepared." After saying that, Xing Bowen resisted the urge to continue and got up to go to the bathroom. Although Rin Yufei's body was empty, her heart was full. There was actually a man in this world who could stop in the process of love for a woman. Chapter 741. After thinking about it, Rin Yufei mustered up her courage and followed him into the bathroom. While the man was taking a shower, she hugged him. "I don't regret it." But Xing Bowen's voice was hoarse and unbearable. The desire that he had just suppressed came out again. "We'll let nature take its course. If we get pregnant, we'll give birth. Even if you don't acknowledge him, I'll raise the child alone." After Xing Bowen heard this, he turned around and held Rin Yufei's cheek seriously. He said, "I won't allow you to have such thoughts. The child belongs to both of us. I won't let you suffer alone. I'll definitely work hard to give you the best life." Rin Yufei also looked at Xing Bowen with a burning gaze. Their feelings were so strong, so what was there to restrain? So, the two of them kissed again, and it spread from the bathroom all the way to the bedroom. This time Xing Bowen did not stop. That night, the two of them tasted each other and went crazy for each other. By the time they stopped, the sky was already turning blue. Xing Bowen curled up on Ren Yufei's small bed, not daring to move because Ren Yufei was lying in his arms. Seeing this woman so tired from being tormented by him, a strong sense of guilt rose in Xing Bowen's heart. Therefore he planned to immediately mention the matter of the two of them getting married when he got home. However, old Master Xing was not stupid at all. His grandson had not been home for the whole night. Although he was old, he could still guess what was going on. Especially when he saw Xing Bowen's radiant and energetic face entering the Xing family's living room, he was even more certain that this old virgin had finally confessed. "Grandpa, you're going to get married, aren't you?" Old Master Xing sat in the living room and said very clearly. You didn't come back all night. Do you think your grandfather is as stupid as you?" Old Master Xing snorted. "Since it's already like this, hurry up and register. Do you need me to teach you? Don't wait for Xiaoren to get pregnant before reporting to me. Otherwise I'll really beat you to death." "Grandpa, I never dared to think that I could find a woman I like," Xing Bowen said with emotion. If you're touched, don't say it. After you're done, hurry back to work." Because speaking of this matter, Grandpa Xing felt extremely guilty. If it wasn't for his stubbornness in the past, he wouldn't have nearly ruined his grandchildren's happiness. Luckily, he could make up for it now. "By the way, you have to take care of little Ren's family." "I understand." Xing Bowen took his ID and called Ren Yufei. The president and special assistant of Huang Yao were absent from work today in order to complete their marriage. She slept until noon. When she woke up, Xing Bowen was sitting in the living room. "Hurry up and freshen up. After dinner we'll go register. I've already talked to the Civil Affairs Bureau." "Actually, I'm not that anxious," Ren Yufei said. "You're not anxious, but I am. By the way, your parents, should we?" "No need." Ren Yufei only used 2 words to interrupt Xing Bowen. "Marriage itself is my own business. I just want to live a good life." Xing Bowen nodded and quickly looked away from Ren Yufei because he was afraid that he wouldn't be able to control himself again. Men who had started their relationship were all like this. They couldn't be flirted with. Soon the two of them went out together. Xing Bowen drove Ren Yufei directly to the Civil Affairs Bureau. There was already someone waiting for them there. The procedure was very simple. It was just a matter of signing and stamping. A few minutes later, the wedding photos of the two of them came out. Then they stamped and got their marriage certificate. From then on, their relationship as husband and wife was established. After getting the red booklet, Xing Bowen held Ren Yufei's hand and said, "Today's marriage registration. Everything is too hasty, but I will definitely give you a grand wedding. Trust me." "There's no hurry." Ren Yufei smiled and said, "Since I've already decided to marry you, I don't care about those ceremonies. But I care. I didn't marry you to make you sacrifice yourself for me." "I understand." Ren Yufei tiptoed and kissed Xing Bowen gently on the cheek. Xing Bowen was satisfied and left with his men. "In principle, I'm not afraid of anyone knowing about our registration. But if you feel that it's inconvenient, you can hide it from the company for now and wait for the right time to make it public. However, there's one thing. You have to move to the Xing family. The apartment you're living in now is too small. I slept very poorly last night." After hearing this, Ren Yufei couldn't help but laugh. "I'll listen to your arrangements. Don't worry. The people in the Xing family are easy to get along with. I'll also find a time to arrange for you to meet my parents." Ren Yufei listened silently, enjoying this man's anxiety and nervousness with joy. She was married and this man belonged to her. She had never dreamed that such a day would come. "I really want to tell the world now." Mu Qiqi was the first in the world. Xing Bowen didn't have many friends. The only people who could share such good news without any scruples were Xing Xiao and his wife. From the phone, Mu Qiqi could hear Xing Bowen's excitement because he could finally be with the person he liked. "Third brother, although you're very happy now, I have a few words that I have to tell you because I think no one else will tell you this other than me." "Go ahead." Xing Bowen suddenly became nervous. "Secretary Ren has no power or influence. She comes from an ordinary family. She'll definitely feel inferior and insecure when she suddenly marries into a rich family. So don't just be happy. You have to give her enough confidence and security. Cinderella has entered a rich family." The outside world will have a lot of opinions about her. Don't be careless. You have to care about her psychological state at all times. Finally, protect her. She's your wife now, the person you should protect the most. Don't talk about it. In addition to protecting her physical safety, you have to protect her heart. After Xing Bowen heard this, he smiled. You're usually so carefree. I didn't expect you to nag me about this. Don't take my kindness for granted. Don't think that you've truly completed your life's major event after marrying Secretary Ren. Your life has just begun and the challenges have just begun. You're a married person after all. You have a lot of experience. Xing Bowen couldn't help but tease Mu Qiqi. Don't worry. Even if you don't say it, there's still a model 8th brother there. No matter what, I can't do worse than him. You can't compare to him. Humph. After saying that, Mu Qiqi hung up. Chapter 742. After the two of them finished registering, they returned to the company. However, in the eyes of the employees, Xing Bowen seemed to be in a particularly good mood today. Didn't you see the president's happy face today? Secretary Ren only came to work in the afternoon. What did the two of them do? The people below began to gossip. They're a couple. What do? It's none of our business. I heard that the president brought Secretary Ren to meet the chairman yesterday. Doesn't that mean that they've met his parents? Secretary Ren has always worked hard with the president, so I think the two of them are a good match. But Secretary Ren's family doesn't seem to be very good. Who cares about her? As long as it's true love. The group of people made a ruckus. They couldn't wait to dig out everything about the rich and powerful. Fortunately, although some people didn't think highly of Ren Yufei's family background, no one denied her as a person. At least, everyone in Huangyao recognized her contributions. It wasn't that Xing Bowen didn't hear the news. He also thought about Mu Qiqi's reminder to him at noon. If he really wanted to protect Ren Yufei, he had to completely protect her from the bottom of his heart. Therefore, using the excuse of Huangyao's tribulation, Xing Bowen proposed to organize employee benefits at the meeting and let Ren Yufei take the credit. He wanted everyone to know that Ren Yufei had a great impact on him. However, this made Ren Yufei feel strange. She had just gone out to do something, but when she came back, she heard her colleagues thanking her. Thus, Ren Yufei knocked on the door and went to the president's office. What's going on? Everyone is thanking me. I just want them to know that I listened to you and put you in my heart. After Xing Bowen said that, he instructed Ren Yufei, get off work early today. I'll accompany you home to pack your things. You're moving to the Xing family. Do you remember? Ren Yufei nodded. In the future you have to discuss this kind of thing with me. Otherwise I won't know anything and it'll be very awkward. Okay, Mrs. Sheng. Xing Bowen had suddenly gone from a dull student with zero foundation to a master of flirting. This really confirmed the saying that it was all because there was someone you liked, so everything became self-taught. In front of the person you like, you will be positive, you will become soft, romantic, and more able to understand feelings. Xing Bowen felt that his bitterness was finally over and the sweetness had come. Mu Qiqi and Tang Yan should have gone to congratulate Xing Bowen when he got married. However, the forensics lab was short of hands and Mu Qiqi was called back as an assistant. Of course, for Mu Qiqi's safety, Tang Yan and Xianxia only allowed her to go once. Tang Yan was in the process of handing over the batch of diacetylmorphine that appeared in Huangyao to the Drug Enforcement Administration. Because he was not in this field now, he still had to leave the professional things to the professionals. The only one left in the Jianchuan branch was the mole in Huangyao. Because it involved a major case, the bureau approved the interrogation. However, the man sat in the interrogation room for an entire day, unwilling to confess anything of value. Captain Tang, this man insists that he doesn't know anything. He found it by chance and suspected that it was diacetylmorphine, so he immediately called the police. He refused to admit that he deliberately framed Huangyao and claimed that he wasn't instructed by anyone. After an entire day of interrogation, Officer Long handed Tang Yan a blank paper. Have you checked his account, social media, call records, and 18 generations of his ancestors? Tang Yan asked. These won't come out so soon. I've already gone to the bank to retrieve his account information. Everything is normal. Then use some tricks, Tang Yan said. Tang Yan said. Everyone knew that it was Xing Kai who did it, but where did Xing Kai get the goods from? How did he send them to Huangyao through a small merchant? Don't give up on this clue. Keep following him. Hasn't the case been transferred? I told you to keep following him, so keep following him. This was because he always believed that if there was really that circle in Jianchuan, then Third Master Long must have played an important role in it. And now, Qing Bin, that dangerous person, was under Third Master Long. He had to figure out the ins and outs of this matter. When Mu Qiqi heard the results of the interrogation, she also came out of the autopsy room and told Tang Yen in private, I suggest that we follow Kai because Third Master Long knows that Kai is using him. He's anxious and wants revenge. If we follow Kai, we might be able to find something. This matter has nothing to do with Huang Yao or the Xing family. From today onwards, you and Xianxia don't get involved anymore. You understand what I'm saying? Understood. This was because Tang Yen and Xing Xiao were both doing this for their safety. If the gang that had made Tang Yen suffer so much years ago were to make a comeback, it would not be a joke. She cherished her life. She would not get involved casually. In a day or two I'll be going on a business trip again. Please take care of Xianxia. Don't worry, Captain Tang. Mu Qiqi understood what Tang Yen meant. She was not afraid of anything else, but Qing Bin's matter made Tang Yen very afraid. He was afraid that Qing Bin would take advantage of his absence to attack Feng Xianxian. Although Tang Yen did not say it explicitly from his tone, Mu Qiqi could tell that this man seemed to have seen through life. Nothing could affect him anymore, but Mu Qiqi felt that Feng Xianxian's importance would definitely surpass his own life. Heartless people were often the most affectionate. Of course, Tang Yen also took her suggestion seriously. Following Kai was indeed a way. Not only could he investigate Kai, but he could also monitor Third Master Long. It was just that he had already handed over this matter, so he could not do it openly. Or rather, he could directly tell the suggestion to the people in the narcotics department. But he himself also needed a reliable informant, because it concerned his and Feng Xianxian's lives, so he could not be careless. Actually, if it were not for this, Mu Qiqi really wanted to see how Third Master Long would cause trouble for Kai. This was also worth looking forward to, wasn't it? Qiqi, what are you doing? Come and help me. The professor's back hurt. The other forensic doctors were out in the field, so he called Mu Qiqi over to help the professor. Kai knew that he had to deal with the aftermath of these two matters. So after dealing with Gu Xiling, he called his godfather and made an appointment for dinner. At this time only his godfather could save his life. Chapter 743. Kai's godfather's surname was Jin, and his name was Bo. Although he was his godfather in name, Kai had only seen him a few times. It was not easy for his godfather to give him the honor of eating. Kai was very attentive, but this godfather had a kind face and never put on airs. He was always kind and pleasant to Kai. I know you don't like exaggerated things, so I brought you here. Kai, you have to remember that if you want to keep your position for a long time, you have to understand one thing. Keeping a low profile and being inconspicuous is the best protection. As Jin Bo drank his tea, he said to him earnestly, Tell me, what do you want me to help you with this time? Last time, the matter with the Xing family failed. Now the police are investigating me and Third Master Long also wants to deal with me. So I came to seek protection from you, godfather. Kai poured tea for Jin Bo and said humbly, I can't hold my head up in front of my wife's family. I can't be a good person. I see. Jin Bo was deep in thought. You don't have to worry about the police, but Third Master Long might make you suffer a little. Bring some gifts and personally apologize. We're all friends, right? There's no need to make a big fuss. Kai understood what Jin Bo meant and immediately thanked him. Thank you for your guidance, godfather. You still have a lot to learn. There's no rush. Take your time. Kai smiled apologetically and ate with the old man attentively. He guessed that his aptitude was very mediocre to Jin Bo, but his godfather was willing to spend time and energy on teaching him. This meant that he might have other uses for Jin Bo, but even he did not know this use. No matter what, he had to solve the current desperate situation first. As for your wife, a man has a career so he can naturally conquer a woman. It's been like this since ancient times. Don't worry. Since you've acknowledged me as your godfather, I will definitely not mistreat you. Take out your shares in Huang Yao and I'll teach you how to make other investments. Then I'll thank you, godfather. After hearing Jin Bo's words, Kai felt at ease. Of course he would also do as Jinbo said and personally visit Third Master Long to deal with the matter. He had messed up dealing with the Xing family. If he did not know how to deal with the aftermath, then he would really be useless. After eating with Jinbo, it was already around 11 o'clock at night when he returned home. Gu Xiling saw that he reeked of alcohol and questioned him. You still dare to go out to drink and fool around in your current state? Do you think that Grandpa will unconditionally indulge you? Xing Kai did not say anything. He dragged her out of the room and locked her outside the door. Gu Xiling was infuriated. She knocked on the door so hard that even Mama Gu and Grandpa Gu came over. What now? Grandpa Gu asked Gu Xiling. Grandpa, look at this scumbag. He locked me outside the door and didn't let me in. Not only did he go out to drink and fool around, but he also treated your grandson like this. Before Gu Xiling could cry out, Grandpa Gu slapped her in the face, leaving her dumbfounded. Can you stop looking for trouble every day? Can you act like a rich young lady? Do you know that your husband went out to see Godfather? You're so annoying every day. Even if you're not tired, I'm tired for you. Gu Xiling, if you don't want to live a good life, you can leave this house. I won't stop you. If you continue to shout and shout at home, you can get lost. Gu Xiling was dumbfounded by her grandfather's words. She covered her face and did not dare to say another word. You don't know what's good for you. Then Grandpa Gu pulled Mama Gu away and returned to their respective rooms. Gu Xiling could only stare at her bedroom door with hatred. Xing Kai, you're good. No one can humiliate me, Gu Xiling. Don't you want a child? Fine, I'll make you a cuckold, and you're even raising a child for someone else. Of course, Gu Xiling had always liked strong men the most. She was unwilling to get pregnant with any one of them. A strong man should be like this. In her heart there was only Xing Xiao. But Xing Xiao would never have anything to do with her. Don't even dream about it. Mu Qiqi borrowed it from the forensics department for a day. Actually, this was not a complicated case. The deceased was a 23-year-old woman who had just graduated from an ordinary university. She worked in an accounting company from 9 to 5 every day and had a regular boyfriend. The cause of death was poison. Because she had just broken up with her boyfriend, she had been dead for more than 10 days. She died in her bed at home. In addition to the suicide note and the fact that there were no fingerprints in the room, this matter was naturally classified as a suicide. However, the professor had borrowed her, which meant that the professor still had doubts about this matter. Mu Qiqi and the professor carefully examined the body together. After that, Mu Qiqi and Officer Long went to the scene. There are so many of us. We've looked at the scene over and over again, but we didn't find anything suspicious. I don't believe that the branch office can't do without Xiao Qi. Senior Brother Long was a little unconvinced. It's not that the branch office can't do without me, but you guys are really too careless. Captain Tang isn't here and the professor can't bear to see you guys like this. Mu Qiqi smiled and explained, it's almost 12 o'clock and I'm still here with you guys. I haven't even complained and you guys are complaining. Then did you find anything? Do you know why the professor called me over? Because he found out something from the deceased. The day before she committed suicide, she had gone to get her nails done. Did she want to die beautifully? If that's the case, why didn't she put on makeup before she took the poison? Mu Qiqi explained to Officer Long. Second, I found on the deceased's computer that she had searched for a travel guide to Saipan before she died. Third, as you said, she had a boyfriend, but when the forensic doctor came to investigate, he found that the room was clean. Even the deceased's fingerprints were almost erased. Don't you think it's strange? So, it's not that I have any special abilities, but that you guys are really careless. Mu Qiqi patted Senior Brother Long's shoulder helplessly. Senior Brother Long was stunned for a moment. He really couldn't find anything to refute. So, according to you and the professor, this matter isn't a suicide? The professor and I came to that conclusion after analyzing it, but after Captain Tang saw the scene, he called me over. Isn't he even scarier? You mean that Captain Tang also thinks that this case isn't simple? Mu Qiqi chuckled. It was probably because Tang Yan's experience in handling cases was already rich enough. Chapter 744. The reason why Tang Yan called Mu Qiqi over was naturally because he realized that things were not simple. As for how it was not simple and who was involved, these were the future direction of the Special Investigations team. Otherwise, Tang Yan would have concluded this case a long time ago. Why would he go through so much trouble? Mu Qiqi left the deceased's apartment and saw Xing Zhao's car waiting downstairs. Mu Qiqi took off her smelly coat and drove to the door. She saw Xing Zhao holding the documents in his hand. Among the documents was the set of bookmarks she had given him. However, this bookmark looked smoother than when she made it. Moreover, it was sealed with plastic. Is this the set of bookmarks I gave you? Xing Zhao closed the documents and clipped the bookmarks. I've already given it to you. It has nothing to do with you. Mu Qiqi pouted and could not help but sigh. Stingy. At most I'll make another set for myself. Don't you dare. Xing Zhao threw a clean towel on her head. There can only be one set of this. After hearing this, Mu Qiqi could not help but smile. She raised her head and deliberately acted cute. So precious. Alright, I won't make this. I'll make something else. Xing Zhao did not say anything else. He only instructed Su Che to drive immediately. Su Che smelled the strange smell on Mu Qiqi's body. Just like Xing Zhao, he did not even frown now because he was used to it. After all, the corpse had been dead for more than 10 days. It was spring now. The stench must have seeped into her bones. Mu Qiqi knew that, so when she returned home she stayed in the bathroom for 2 whole hours. It was so long that Xing Zhao thought that she had fallen asleep in the bathtub, so he took her bathrobe and entered the house. You've been bathing for too long. Come out. Xing Zhao grabbed her arm and dragged her out of the water. Then he wrapped her in the bathrobe. Mu Qiqi's hands were wrinkled. He was a little helpless. It's only spring now. If it's summer, it'll be even scarier. Your car will be filled with my smell. Zhongting's biotechnology company is already speeding up the development of products to remove odors. The perfume I made for you previously will be kept everywhere in the future. Xing Zhao hugged her and sat on the sofa. He dried her hair for her and sniffed it when it was half dry. This imported shampoo is still very effective. Which girl doesn't want to smell good? Mu Qiqi felt that it was a pity. The worst thing about being a forensic doctor was this charming smell. But when I thought that the deceased had a lot of secrets to share, I felt that there was nothing to complain about. This is the mission of a forensic doctor. Mu Qiqi leaned against his chest and tried to suck in his scent. You smell so good. After Xing Zhao heard that, he took the hairdryer and dried her hair. I'll let you smell as much as you want later. On the other hand, Tang Yan had just returned home. Mu Qiqi was only a forensic assistant, but he had to take charge of the overall situation. Feng Xianxia made supper and heard about the investigation process from Tang Yan. Both he and Mu Qiqi found something unusual about the deceased. However, the confession of the deceased's boyfriend matched the evidence. In other words, the boyfriend was not a suspect at all. In that case, there must be another reason for the deceased's suicide. Mu Qiqi only found this part. When Tang Yan investigated the scene for the first time, he found a name card under the bed of the deceased. He didn't tell anyone. Instead, he asked Old Qing to verify the other party's identity. He realized that it seemed difficult to investigate this matter further. Haven't we encountered this type of case before? We have to continue investigating from the deceased's social circle. He must have contacted someone else. Feng Xianxia leaned on the table and watched Tang Yan eat supper. Tang Yan did not say anything. When Feng Xianxia saw this, she immediately guessed. You have a clue, right? It's just that no one said anything. Why aren't you eating? Feng Xianxia looked at it in disdain and replied, It's precisely because I made it myself that I feel it's very greasy. Looks a little unbearable. Don't change the topic. Do you know something? Don't ask anymore. I'll ask the chief tomorrow. After Tang Yan said that, he stood up and cleaned up the dishes. Feng Xianxia took a deep breath and did not ask further. However, she felt an uncomfortable feeling in her stomach. In the future she would make something light. After eating supper, it was already 1:30 in the morning. The two of them lay on the bed. Feng Xianxia was already in a daze and was about to fall asleep. However, Tang Yan suddenly said to her, I'm going on a business trip again. Yes, I know, Feng Xianxia said. I saw you packing your luggage just now. I will come back safely. I'll try my best not to get hurt. Tang Yan hugged Feng Xianxia and promised seriously. You just have to focus on your classes and study hard. It won't happen. When I come back, I'll tutor you well. Don't be so smug. You won't. There's still the professor. I'm not so bad that I can't even find someone to ask me questions. Feng Xianxian said softly. When I'm not around, don't go out casually. If there's anything, discuss it with Mu Qiqi. If you keep nagging, don't sleep. Feng Xianxian turned over and lay on Tang Yan's body, pressing her leg against a certain part of the man. Tang Yan did not hold back and took back his sovereignty. Anyway, he would leave at dawn, so he allowed them to be crazy all night. The next morning, Tang Yan got up, kissed Feng Xianxian's forehead and left with his luggage. Although Feng Xianxian wanted to send him off, her entire body was sore and weak, so she could only lie down obediently. However, after sleeping for a whole day, she did not get better. In the evening, Feng Xianxian called Mu Qiqi. "Qi, come over when you're free. I'm not feeling well." Only then did Mu Qiqi remember that Captain Tang was already on a business trip. So after school, she immediately rushed to Feng Xianxian and Tang Yan's house. Feng Xianxian was lying on the bed, her face pale. Mu Qiqi touched her forehead and found that she was having a fever. Then she looked at the marks on her body and immediately understood. "Did you go overboard last night?" "I have abdominal pain," Feng Xianxian said with difficulty. "It's never happened before. The doctor is on the way. Bear with it a little longer." Mu Qiqi boiled water for her and wiped her face. When the doctor arrived, she immediately stood to the side. Of course, in order to avoid suspicion, Mu Qiqi found a female doctor. She squatted by the bed and observed Feng Xianxian for a while. Finally, she asked her, "When was the last time you had your period?" Feng Xianxian thought for a moment and shook her head. "I don't remember, but there's a record on my phone. I suggest you go to the hospital for a checkup. I suspect that she doesn't have a cold or a fever. She's pregnant." When the two of them heard this, their eyes widened. Especially Feng Xianxian, she immediately propped herself up from the bed. "Oh, that's possible?" Chapter 745. Of course. Feng Xianxian was very sure at first, but when she said the second half of her sentence, she began to hesitate. Because there were a few times when she and Tang Yan were crazy, she wasn't sure if Tang Yan was wearing contraceptives. But when she thought about it seriously, Tang Yan was such a careful person. It was impossible for him to forget about it. "Get up," Mu Qiqi said hatefully. "I'll take you to the hospital for a checkup now. I think the doctor might have misdiagnosed us. We have contraceptives. You were hesitating just now, but now you're sure." Mu Qiqi glared at her and found some clothes for her. "We'll know after the checkup." Seeing that Mu Qiqi was like a long-winded old woman, Feng Xianxian had no choice but to get out of bed and get up. "It's only the first day Captain Tang left. Is this how you take care of yourself? He has to bear a lot of responsibility for my actions." Feng Xianxian rolled her eyes. That person knew that he was going to leave early this morning, so he let go last night. Therefore all her discomfort was because of that man. Mu Qiqi didn't want to talk nonsense with her, so she brought her to the hospital and planned to go to the obstetrics and gynecology department. Feng Xianxian felt that it was unlikely because she thought about it carefully. Tang Yan had contraceptives, but looking at her period records, she didn't have the confidence to reply to Mu Qiqi. Because of her period, it was almost half a month late. "If you really have a child, what do you plan to do?" On the way to the hospital, Mu Qiqi asked Feng Xianxian, who was leaning against her. "With your current situation and Captain Tang's situation, are you going to have a baby or not?" "Yes," Feng Xianxian answered firmly. "The child of the man I love. He didn't betray me or abandon me. Why shouldn't I have a baby? Moreover, the last abortion has already damaged my body. If I don't have a baby, I'm afraid that no baby will be willing to be reincarnated with me in the future. You're living a much crazier life than me now. If it were me, I wouldn't be able to say that." Mu Qiqi still glared at her. "Maybe the situation isn't as bad as I think. We'll talk about it after the checkup. I still remember telling Tang Yan that no matter how hard he fought outside or how he abandoned me, I wouldn't complain. But I only hope that when I give birth, he can be by my side. I found a criminal police officer. I know what I have to face, and I know that what I have to face is different from others." Feng Xianxian replied calmly. She had already prepared herself thousands of times in her heart. She was very clear-headed. "Don't you think about yourself? Mu Qiqi, if it were you today and Tang Yan was Xiao, it would be strange if you could still ask such a question. You would only do something even crazier than me." The two of them had been rivals for a long time, so they knew each other's thoughts very well. Muqiqi did not say anything because she suddenly thought of Lu Xianxian. How could she have so many friends like that? Soon Su Che sent them to the hospital. After paying for the checkup, Muqiqi followed him into the ultrasound room. Do you see that? The small dot in the middle is the pregnancy sac. Congratulations, you're pregnant. The doctor pointed at the floating image and told Feng Shanshan. Feng Shanshan was stunned for a moment, and so was Muqiqi. But your current condition is not very good. I suggest you do a comprehensive checkup to ensure the health of the mother and the fetus. The doctor handed the results to Muqiqi and gave her family a suggestion. Even now, Feng Shanshan felt that her body was light and did not feel real at all. This was a completely different feeling from before. This time she was pleasantly surprised and happy because the child in her stomach was Tang Yan's child, the crystallization of her and Tang Yan. When she came out of the ultrasound room, Muqiqi saw Feng Shanshan smiling and knew what she was thinking. However, as her mother's family, Muqiqi also felt that this was a happy event. However, she was more worried about Feng Shanshan. She was not like Xing Bowen and Ren Yufei, who let nature take its course. That was what everyone wanted. Feng Shanshan had already lost her studies for Tang Yan. She was already in danger. Not only did she follow Tang Yan without a name, but she was also pregnant. Tang Yan also went on business trips every now and then. Even though she was living in the safest area in Jianchuan, there was no one by her side who could take care of and protect her. How much did she care about Tang Yan that she was willing to take such a huge risk to give birth to a new life? You're still laughing. Muqiqi was furious. Do you know your current situation? I can't cry. Feng Shanshan patted Muqiqi's shoulder to comfort her. Trust me. If it were you, you would do the same for Xiao. Don't talk about me so easily. My man won't let me get pregnant in such a difficult environment. Muqiqi snorted. Now let's go for a full body checkup. If you want to be hospitalized, you have to stay in the hospital obediently. You're not allowed to go anywhere. Speaking of which, I'm really thankful for the money old Master Xing gave me. I don't have to worry about money now. You're still talking about it. If she wasn't pregnant, Muqiqi would have really hit her. In order to accompany Feng Shanshan for the checkup, Muqiqi specially applied for leave. Progesterone, genetic diseases, and she stayed in the hospital for the whole day. Of course, Tang Yan was on a business trip and was now isolated from the world. It didn't seem realistic to tell him immediately. Fortunately, you guys went too far last night and didn't hurt the child. But the doctor also said that you have to stay in the hospital for 3 days. Muqiqi, has anyone told you that you're really naggy? Feng Shanshan lay on the bed and couldn't help but laugh as she looked at Muqiqi's wrinkled face. Then who is it for? I transferred the 5th aunt who took care of me to take care of you. She's very good at taking care of your body. My problems in that area were all solved by her diet therapy. Muqiqi began to arrange Feng Shanshan's life. Before Captain Tang comes back, you're not allowed to go anywhere other than the hospital and home. If you really care about this child, be obedient. Okay, I'll listen. Feng Shanshan nodded seriously. This was not a joke. Seeing that she really liked the arrival of this child, Muqiqi was also discouraged. The anger in her heart couldn't be vented no matter what, so she said, with Captain Tang's situation, I don't expect him to take good care of you. But since you have a child, there are some things that have to be done. I'm not stupid. I won't not ask for help when I know it's dangerous or deliberately run into a knife. Don't worry, Feng Shanshan promised. Chapter 746. Seeing how nervous Muqiqi was, Feng Shanshan smiled. Although the two of them had always been enemies in this world, even Tang Yan did not treat her as well as Muqiqi did. Say, why do you dote on an opponent so much? Feng Shanshan could not help but ask. If I were you, it would be so easy to just let it go. Stop being sarcastic. I'll make a call now. Lie down and rest. Muqiqi took out her phone and wanted to call 5th aunt. However, just as she got up, she was stopped by Feng Shanshan. So she turned her head and heard Feng Shanshan's words. For the first 20 years I've been living an absurd life. I thought that being alone and having fun was the best explanation for life. However, I met you in Tang Yan. You're a saint and a righteous person. You actually made me have the thought of becoming a Buddha. So I've turned over a new leaf and had a new life. I don't have parents or other relatives. I've done many bad things and in the end I even suffered retribution. So, other than this child I only have you two now. Today I'm pregnant with Tang Yan's child. I don't regret it. If you're in danger in the future I'll go through fire and water. This is also the truth. So as long as it's for you I'll do my best to protect you. So what if the situation is difficult? As long as I'm alive nothing is a big deal. Do you think I'll be safe just because I took a step back and aborted the child? I just want to give myself and Tang Yan a home. After all, before he met me he didn't have a home either. Mu Qiqi could not help but feel touched by Feng Shanshan's sudden words. She used to have nothing and she used to worry about gains and losses. However, as long as it was for Xianxia she could give up everything. Because they loved one person with all their heart. Stop feeling sorry for yourself. With a friend like me and a man like Captain Tang, what else do you want? With all the sins you've committed before, you should be content to have such a blessing. Mu Qiqi turned her head and snorted. I'll be back soon. Rest well. After leaving the ward, Mu Qiqi had a strong desire in her heart. She had to help Feng Shanshan keep the child. So in order to ensure Feng Shanshan's safety she would do anything. Soon, fifth aunt received the notice and was also willing to go to the hospital to take care of pregnant women. After all, that was her specialty. Not only that, but Mu Qiqi also arranged for bodyguards to protect Feng Shanshan before Tang Yan came back. Because of these trivial matters, Mu Qiqi was busy for the whole day. When she dragged her tired body home, Xianxia hooked his finger at her. Mu Qiqi immediately leaned on Xianxia and let out a long sigh of relief. It's all thanks to my husband's diligence that I have so much money to spend. That's why I can get things done so easily. Husband, you've worked hard. Xianxia looked down at her little head. He did not know what she was thinking. Do you have something to ask of me? You should know that Feng Shanshan is pregnant. I want to ask if Zhongting has the relevant department to develop a positioning system. I want to get a set for her to monitor her safety. That's just a small matter, Xianxia replied. There's no need for a separate research and development department. Why are you so easy to talk to today? Usually if I care about Feng Shanshan for even a second, you'll pull a long face. But you didn't today. Have you changed? Xianxia and Tang Yan had an agreement to help take care of each other's women. Therefore he naturally had to spare no effort in protecting Feng Shanshan. Otherwise, how could Feng Shanshan give fifth aunt whenever she wanted and a bodyguard whenever she wanted? I'll let Su Che handle this matter. Is there anything else? Not for the time being. Also, I'm very envious of her. Mu Qiqi leaned on Xianxia and whispered the latter half of her sentence. I'm extremely envious that she can give birth to a child for the man she loves. Don't you know that giving birth is very painful? Xianxia stroked her hair and asked. Of course I know, but I'm also envious. I don't know how long I have to wait before I can give birth to a baby for you. Mu Qiqi propped herself up and looked at Xianxia regretfully. I can't let you be a father when you're almost 30, right? What did you say? Xianxia immediately pinched Mu Qiqi's cheek and asked. I didn't mean to say that you're old. Xianxia pinched her even harder when he heard that. Let go. I really want to give birth to a child for you. I want to see you be a father. There'll be plenty of chances in the future. There's plenty of time in the future. Xianxia let go and let Mu Qiqi lie down again. We'll talk about this in the future. We'll talk about it in the future. Xianxia looked at her indignant head and smiled helplessly. Giving birth to a child and giving birth to a new life required a lot of responsibility and energy. She could still enjoy her freedom and her own time now, but she still didn't know how to be content. To a man, it was just a matter of sperm, but he had to torture his woman for so long. He felt afraid when he thought about it. Xianxia, who clearly did not care about anyone and did not care about any danger, was very careful when it came to Mu Qiqi. In fact, his wish was very simple. He wanted Mu Qiqi to be healthy and stay by his side for a long time. This was the difference between a man and a woman. Women could give very little to men. The only way they could prove that they loved this man was to be willing to give birth to a child for him. At least Feng Shanshan was like this, and so was Mu Qiqi. In the evening at Third Master Long's manor, Xing Kai came with a gift. From the looks of it, he was planning to ask for forgiveness. When Third Master Long heard that it was Xing Kai, he sneered. I didn't go look for him, but he came knocking on my door first. Therefore he signaled with his eyes for Qing Bin to go and investigate first. Originally he had planned to leave this matter to Qing Bin. Qing Bin knew that if he wanted a chance to take revenge he had to rely on Third Master Long. Therefore he obeyed his orders and put away his respect in front of Third Master Long. He walked out of Third Master Long's manor fiercely. When Xing Kai saw him appear he wanted to go forward and greet him, but Qing Bin kicked him to the ground. "You still have the face to come? It's a misunderstanding. This is all a misunderstanding. I came here today to ask for forgiveness. I also brought a small gift. I hope Third Master Long won't hold a grudge." Xing Kai sat on the ground and quickly explained while asking his follower to open the box. When Qing Bin saw so much cash, he hesitated for a moment before returning to the manor to ask for instructions. Chapter 747. Since you're here to make peace, then let's meet. After all, you can go against anyone but money. Third Master Long wiped his hands as he answered Qing Bin. These young masters of the Xing family are really interesting. Qing Bin looked at Third Master Long and did not say anything. Because he saw Third Master Long's undisguised love for power and benefits. Then Xing Kai entered the manor. As expected, he brought a whole box of good things and offered them to Third Master Long. Third Master Long was shocked by this incident, so I specially came here to apologize to you. I hope that you won't hold a grudge against me. Third Master Long glanced at Xing Kai and laughed mockingly. You and your other two brothers are really different. Xianxia, let's not talk about it for now. Second young master actually let the idiotic third young master ride on his head. It's really unbelievable. To tell you the truth, my third brother isn't stupid at all. He and eighth brother were just acting to cause you to misunderstand me, Xing Kai quickly explained. After Third Master Long heard this, he laughed again. You brothers are indeed a headache. However, since you came today, I can let bygones be bygones. However, in the future I hope that second young master can understand what it means to mind your own business. No, Third Master, I'm not here today just to apologize. I hope to cooperate with you. Second young master, you must be joking. Why should I offend Zhongting for you? Third Master Long did not think much of it. Third Master needs protection, don't you? As long as you cooperate with me, I guarantee that what you're doing now will only be smoother than before because there's someone behind me. At this point, Xing Kai whispered a name into Third Master Long's ear. Third Master Long fell silent when he heard this. What do you want? I want the Xing family to be destroyed. Xing Kai directly stated his goal. Of course, revenge is only secondary. My ultimate goal is to establish a chain of common interests. Wait for me to think about it. I'll give you a reply. Third Master Long needed to think carefully. After all, Xing Kai's offer was very tempting, but he had broken his oath not to interfere in other people's family affairs. He did not like to get involved in the grudges of rich families. I'm not in a hurry. Please accept my gift, Third Master. I'll take my leave first. Qing Bin, send the second young master off, Third Master Long instructed. Qing Bin nodded and escorted Xing Kai out of Third Master Long's manor. At this time Xing Kai said to Qing Bin, I know you bear hatred, but Third Master Long is old and cunning. If you want a chance to take revenge, you can come to me. Young people will always have more common topics to talk about. What do you think? Qing Bin was stunned. It seemed that Xing Kai had put in a lot of effort to come here. Moreover, he was right. Third Master Long kept avoiding the matter of avenging him. If he waited any longer, Tang Yan would be promoted again. This is my business card. Let's have a drink sometime. Xing Kai left the things behind and turned to open the door of his car. Qing Bin looked at the business card and was indeed tempted. Xing Kai was here to fish not only for Third Master Long the white shark but also for Qing Bin the piranha. After all, he needed to quickly build his own faction and make the Xing family see him in a different light. Late at night at the Xing family home. For the past few days, Xing Bowen had been holding Ren Yufei's hand and entering the house. It was as if he was afraid that others would not know that he already had a new wife, and they were very loving. This was really disliked by old Master Xing. Can you restrain yourself when you're home? There are other people at home. Grandpa, we're newlyweds. You have to understand me. Xing Bowen raised his and Ren Yufei's hands and said, We've had dinner outside. You don't have to call us later. Old Master Xing rolled his eyes at him and continued to play chess with sixth brother. Ren Yufei felt that she had not done anything filial for old Master Xing since she moved in, so she felt a little guilty. So, once she returned to her room, she said to Xing Bowen, "Should I do something for my family too?" Xing Bowen nodded. Xing Bowen held her hand again and shook his head. "Do you know why I've been sticking to you like this for the past few days?" Ren Yufei shook her head. "Because you're the young mistress of the Xing family. I want everyone in the Xing family to respect you and know your identity. It's good that you want to do something for your family. But even if you don't do anything, no one will blame you." Ren Yufei thought that he was just sticky and full of lust. She did not expect him to have such considerations. He was afraid that she would be bullied as soon as she entered the Xing family. "I think everyone is fine. I'm also willing to integrate into this family. That's because you haven't seen Xiao Qi when she first came to the Xing family. The current Xing family has already been trained by the couple, especially Grandpa. No matter what, as your husband, in order to protect my wife, there are some things I have to do." Ren Yufei was touched when she heard this. "I really don't regret marrying you. I won't give you a chance to regret it." After saying that, Xing Bowen's kiss came quickly. He did not give Ren Yufei any time to react. She knew that it would end up like this. This man had really been unrestrained in the past few days. However, she was willing to cooperate because she also longed for this man. So soon the two of them fell on the bed. Once they took off, it was out of control. If Mu Chichi knew that Xing Bowen was so hungry after eating, she would definitely laugh her head off. After all, he would always talk about being in a mess. Just as the two of them were in high spirits, Xing Bowen's phone rang in his ear. Xing Bowen looked at the caller ID and threw his phone away. However, Ren Yufei took it back. "Answer it. Chichi's looking for you. There must be something urgent." Xing Bowen felt like killing someone at this moment. He could only lie down and pick up the phone. "What's the matter?" Mu Chichi wanted to ask if she wanted to prepare a set for Ren Yufei since she was making jewelry with a GPS system. However, she heard Xing Bowen's magnetic voice. Mu Chichi immediately smiled. "Did I disturb you and Secretary Ren? If you know, hurry up and hang up." Xing Bowen couldn't take it anymore and his tone was very sad. "Alright then, you guys continue. We'll talk tomorrow." Xing Bowen put down his phone and looked at Ren Yufei pitifully. "Next time I'll find this time to call them. Why are you so stingy? We can continue." Ren Yufei was under him. Her face was crimson and she looked very alluring. Mu Chichi never expected that Xing Bowen would look like that after getting rid of the old virgin. She found it extremely funny. Xing Xiao saw that she was overjoyed and picked her up from the sofa. "You need a little punishment." "Why?" Mu Chichi's eyes widened. Chapter 748. Xing Xiao was a man of strength and action. Mu Chichi proposed to make jewelry with a GPS system, and Su Che was quickly ordered to deliver it to her. Mu Chichi looked at the box and frowned. Why is there only one set? Although she did not tell Xing Bowen about this yesterday, she also had the idea of making it for Ren Yufei. Moreover, before going to bed last night she had told Xiao Xiao about it. "Feng Xianxian is in a hurry, so I'll give this set to you first. If every set is the same, it will easily arouse suspicion, so the other two sets are still being made," Su Che explained calmly. "The engineering department has tried their best not to affect the human body too much, so Madam doesn't have to worry about safety." "It's good. I'll send it to her at noon." Mu Chichi replied with a smile. She did not notice that Su Che had mentioned that there were still two sets. A man like Xing Xiao was so protective. How could his woman not have one when others had one? She was just satisfied with that man's thoughtfulness. Everything had been arranged properly, and he had considered many details for her. Mu Chichi put away the gift for Feng Xianxian's child and then received a call from Xing Bowen. "It's already noon. Don't tell me you just woke up?" Mu Chichi teased. "How could that be? I've been busy all morning and only managed to find the time. What did you want to ask me yesterday?" Xing Bowen asked in a good mood. "I don't want to say it now. You'll know when the time comes. Consider it my wedding gift to you. Then I'll thank you on behalf of Yufei." Mu Chichi really could not stand the married Xing Bowen. He never forgot to show off his love, which gave people goosebumps. Therefore she rolled her eyes and quickly hung up on Xing Bowen. Xing Bowen did not know how he had offended Mu Chichi. Just as he was about to ask, Ren Yufei knocked on the door and came in. She said to him, "President, there's a visitor." Xing Bowen looked up and followed Ren Yufei's voice. He saw Papa Huan who ran behind her. The two of them were here to thank him. After all, Xing Bowen had saved the Hu family. I hope I didn't disturb third young master. Uncle, you're too polite. Xing Bowen smiled and gestured with his eyes for Ren Yufei to prepare tea for the guests. Seeing the sweet interaction between the two of them, Hu Ran had mixed feelings. She couldn't tell whether she was envious or jealous, or perhaps she also felt gratified. I came here today because I wanted to bring Xiao Ran here to thank you before she left. After all, the Sheng family helped us at the critical moment. Moreover, the accounting of the shares has been completed. The lawyer will come and talk to you another day. Although you said that you don't need to do that, it's not my way of doing things. I don't want my benefactor to suffer losses. Xiao Ran, are you leaving? Xing Bowen noticed the key point in Papa Hu's words. The Hu Corporation is entering the cosmetics industry. There's no one else in the family, so of course, she has to shoulder her own responsibility. Papa Hu smiled. In 2 days she'll fly to France. Everything went well. Xing Bowen reached out to Hu Ran. Hu Ran held it with a smile and nodded. It's said that French men are romantic and gentlemanly. I will definitely find a man who understands gentleness better than you. You're an unromantic blockhead. You really need a secretary to control you. Xing Bowen chuckled and nodded in agreement. You will definitely meet your true happiness. Take care. You too. The two of them smiled and completely let go of the past, especially Hu Ran. After understanding her feelings for Xing Bowen, she had expectations for true love. Seeing that Hu Ran could really let go, Xing Bowen felt very relaxed and gratified. After the father and daughter left, he held Ren Yufei in his arms and placed her on his legs. Ren Yufei was a little confused. They left just like that. I didn't even get to drink tea. I'm just very emotional. Xiao Ran has finally figured it out. I also hope that she can be happy. Ren Yufei hugged Xing Bowen's neck and there was a smile in her eyes. He definitely will. In the future, it's finally a world that belongs to the two of us. I don't have to worry about you wavering in your determination to be with me because of these external factors. Ren Yufei's heart immediately warmed up. I'm already married. I won't regret it. After Xing Bowen heard this, he pressed Ren Yufei on the sofa and kissed her passionately. Ren Yufei felt a headache coming on. This man didn't care about the occasion at all. If someone came in and saw them, the company would be lively again. However, it was precisely because of this that she could feel Xing Bowen's incomparably passionate feelings for her. In the evening, there was a light drizzle. Mu Qiqi took the jewelry box to the hospital and found that Feng Xianxian was napping. When fifth aunt went to prepare dinner for Feng Xianxian, she whispered to Mu Qiqi, "Madam, Miss Feng doesn't seem to be in a good mood today. She secretly cried a few times. I asked her why, but she refused to tell me. When she wakes up, you can ask her properly. A pregnant person can't have too much emotional fluctuations. This is not good for the child. In the future, she will definitely regret it." "A fifth aunt, it's been hard on you." Mu Qiqi nodded. "If only she was as obedient as you." Fifth aunt sighed as she left with the food box. Mu Qiqi looked at Feng Xianxian's back as she lay on her side and thought that the only thing that could make Feng Xianxian's emotions fluctuate so much was Captain Tang. Pregnant women were sensitive to begin with. She didn't know if it was because she couldn't contact Tang Yen that Feng Xianxian was so fragile. Mu Qiqi waited for about half an hour before Feng Xianxian woke up. However, her face was pale as if she was enduring great pain. "You're here. I haven't seen you for a day and you look so haggard. What happened?" Mu Qiqi helped her up and asked carefully. "The doctor told me that the child might not be able to be saved. I wanted to contact Tang Yen but I couldn't. I thought I was very strong, but when something really happened I could only cry secretly," Feng Xianxian explained. "The doctor said it's possible. No matter what, they will do their best. So your worry is unnecessary." Mu Qiqi glared at her. "Captain Tang will be gone for about a week. It's only the second day now. How can you contact him? I understand how you feel now, but no matter how much you want to, you have to restrain yourself for the sake of the child. And you said you wouldn't let Captain Tang worry. Even ghosts would be afraid of you now." Feng Xianxian took a deep breath and looked at Mu Qiqi helplessly. Chapter 749. You have to know how much I envy you. Even if I want to have a child with Xianxia now, he won't let me. After Mu Qiqi said that, she took out the jewelry box from her bag and handed it to Feng Xianxian. What is it? Feng Xianxian took it and opened it. Seeing that it was jewelry, she looked at Mu Qiqi in confusion. Why did you give me this? There's a special device in this earring. There's a small locator. I was afraid that something would happen to you, so I asked Xiao to make this set. It won't affect you and the child. It's purely because I'm afraid of Qing Bin's revenge. Feng Xianxian hugged the jewelry box, crying and laughing at the same time. Her emotions were very complicated. Because you're also a woman, I definitely won't give up Tang Yan and marry you. Forget it. I still want my Xiao. Mu Qiqi looked at her disdainfully. I remember that the professor is Captain Tang's uncle. Since you're pregnant and I have to go to school, should I inform them? At least you can have more protection. The professor will be very happy. After I'm discharged, I'll tell them. It's too ostentatious to let them come to the hospital now, Feng Xianxian explained. Actually, there's no need to worry. You're staying in the colorectal department now. They won't think that you're pregnant. Mu Qiqi smiled. Feng Xianxian took out the earrings from the jewelry box and put them on. On Mu Qiqi's side, she was also making the corresponding link. Captain Tang isn't back, so only I can see this system. For the time being, no matter where you go, I'll keep an eye on you. My entire family's life is in your hands. The two of them chatted for a while, and Feng Xianxian's face became much rosier because she was gradually letting go of the burden in her heart. Fifth aunt came back with the food and heaved a sigh of relief when she saw this. My wife is a happy person, right? Wherever she goes, she can make people feel relaxed. You eat. I'll go talk to the doctor. Mu Qiqi got up from the bed. Feng Xianxian nodded. She did not resist Mu Qiqi's concern. Mu Qiqi went to the obstetrics and gynecology department and found Feng Xianxian's attending doctor. The doctor roughly told her about Feng Xianxian's situation. Today, our doctor gave Miss Feng a more comprehensive physical examination and found that there's a possibility that she has uterine fibroids. Because of her pregnancy, the fibroids may grow, so she needs to be checked regularly. In the future, she'll need her husband to take care of her. Will it affect the fetus? How should I put it? There's a certain impact, but the current situation isn't much. If we pay attention to all aspects, the child can be delivered smoothly. When the time comes, we can also remove the uterine fibroids. As a medical student, Mu Qiqi knew the severity of the situation. Feng Xianxian herself knew that what hurt her was probably what the doctor said about needing her husband to take care of her. It was difficult for them to see each other every day. How could they take care of her? No matter how much she helped Feng Xianxian, there were many things that she could not do. No matter how careful Fifth Aunt was, she was still an outsider. It was impossible for her to replace Tang Yan's position in Feng Xianxian's heart. Therefore, she still wanted to tell Professor Tang about this. After all, he was Tang Yan's most important family member in the world. This way, Feng Xianxian could also feel the warmth of a family. Then that's it. I hope the doctor can take care of me. Thank you. Mu Qiqi thanked the doctor. After saying that, Mu Qiqi left the doctor's office. However, when she left the obstetrics and gynecology department, she met an acquaintance at the counter. It was Gu Xiling. The two of them saw each other, but they each had their own thoughts. There was no need to greet each other, so Mu Qiqi left the obstetrics and gynecology department. Gu Xiling took advantage of Xing Kai's absence to ask about the test tube. But why was Mu Qiqi here? Was she pregnant? Or did she have some gynecological disease? If that was the case, it would be good if she had cancer. Mu Qiqi did not want Gu Xiling to know about Feng Xianxian, so she did not go to the inpatient department to look for Feng Xianxian. She only called her. I saw Gu Xiling in the hospital just now. I don't want to be suspected and followed by her, so I won't come to look for you. Rest early and don't let your imagination run wild. Feng Xianxian nodded as she drank her soup. If you need anything, just tell Fifth Aunt. Also, I talked to the doctor just now. I think you should contact the professor now. They are Captain Tang's only family, and they will also be your family. What you need now is the warmth of a family. This is something I can't give you. I'll think about it myself. Mu Qiqi hummed in acknowledgement and hung up. She absolutely trusted Fifth Aunt, but taking care of her and taking care of Feng Xianxian were two different things. Feng Xianxian also hung up. She already understood what Mu Qiqi meant. Tang Yan was not around, so she had no spiritual sustenance. It was easy for her thoughts to run wild. If Tang Yan's family was by her side, she would feel very safe. But would the professor be happy? She was pregnant with Tang Yan's child. Feng Xianxian was very nervous, but after hesitating for 20 minutes she still dialed Professor Tang's number. Xianxian, what's wrong? Professor, I'm in the hospital now. I'm pregnant with Tang Yan's child, Feng Xianxian said tentatively. She was afraid that the professor would have other thoughts and think that she was being too casual or something else. When the professor heard this, he immediately hung up. Feng Xianxian was stunned because she had thought of all kinds of possibilities in her mind, but she did not expect the professor to hang up directly. However, within a few seconds the professor called again. His tone was very anxious. Xianxian, which hospital are you in? I brought your aunt over to see you. I was in a hurry to hang up just now and forgot to ask the hospital. Feng Xianxian's heart suddenly came back to life, so she quickly reported the department and ward she was in. Professor Tang acted as if his daughter-in-law had a child. He was so anxious that he even forgot to change his shoes and directly brought his wife to the hospital. He found Feng Xianxian in the anorectal ward. Why are you in this department? Chi said that it's safe this way, Feng Xianxian explained to the professor. Good child. Mrs. Tang sat down by Feng Xianxian's bed and held her hand without any grudge. Since you're pregnant, we won't stay in the hospital anymore. Aunt will take you home and take good care of you. Fifth aunt thought that the professor and Mrs. Tang were Feng Xianxian's family, so she advised her, Miss Feng, no matter what, you have to stay by your family's side. No matter what, your family won't hurt you. But Feng Xianxian told Professor Tang and Mrs. Tang what the doctor said. Chapter 750. You haven't told Tang Yan, have you? The professor guessed that if Tang Yan knew, he would definitely contact him immediately to bring Xianxian home. I only found out after he went on a business trip, Feng Xianxian explained. It's okay. It's the same when he comes back, Professor Tang said happily. Your aunt is packing your things now. You can stay at our house for the time being so that she can take care of your body. I thought you wouldn't like the child being born without a proper reason. We only feel that Tang Yan is thankful that he has a descendant. How can we be picky? The professor's eyes were wet. Other than you, who else would be willing to give birth to that brat's child? When he comes back, I must teach him a good lesson. He won't always take on those dangerous jobs. I'll make him think more about you and the child. Feng Xianxian voluntarily left with the professor. She also paid Fifth Aunt a sum of money. However, Fifth Aunt did not accept it. Madam has already paid me. Miss Feng, you don't have to pay me anymore. I'll feel bad if you do this. Feng Xianxian had not been honest with others for too long, so she only knew how to use money in such a vulgar way. Fortunately, she was not short of money. However, Fifth Aunt did not accept it, so she did not force her. However, she was grateful to Fifth Aunt. This was from the bottom of her heart. Late that night, Gu Xiling returned home after her checkup. She sat at home in a daze because she still felt that Mu Qiqi was not sick, but more likely to be pregnant. Why did you go to the hospital? Xing Kai questioned Gu Xiling as soon as he returned home. What tricks do you want to play to humiliate me again? Didn't you want me to get pregnant as soon as possible? I have to understand my physical condition. Gu Xiling looked at Xing Kai with hatred. If you can't give birth to a child, I'll suffer too. Hearing Gu Xiling's mocking words, Xing Kai pressed Gu Xiling onto the bed and warned her sternly, don't mock me in front of me in the future. Otherwise, I don't know what I'll do to you. Mu Qiqi is pregnant. What do you want me to think? Gu Xiling mocked. Mu Qiqi is pregnant? Xing Kai gradually loosened his grip on Gu Xiling. His expression was a little complicated. He's still a student. How could eighth brother get her pregnant? However, if she's really pregnant, it might be a great opportunity to deal with eighth brother. Go to the hospital again tomorrow and figure this matter out. Is Mu Qiqi really pregnant? I won't fall for your trick again. When the time comes, you'll blame it on me when you fail the mission, Gu Xiling said coldly. Xing Kai, I'm not your chess piece. Do you think you have a choice? Xing Kai pinched her chin hard and said, I'm going to take over Chongrong Electronics soon. As the CEO's wife, you have to help your husband, right? Changrong is a cancer in the industry. Don't tell me you haven't heard of it? Godfather will naturally arrange everything. Also, when the house is settled, you will move out with me. Gu Xiling, I'm not asking for your opinion now. I'm just informing you. Gu Xiling looked at Sheng Kai with extreme hatred. In her heart, Sheng Kai would always be a pile of mud that could not be helped. Now that the so-called godfather was praising him so much, it must be because he still had some special value. Only Sheng Kai was still complacent. Of course, Gu Xiling couldn't help but want to mock Sheng Kai when she saw him like this. However, deep in her heart she had always blamed everything on Mu Qiqi. If Mu Qiqi hadn't snatched Xiao away back then, she wouldn't have been tortured like this. She felt that her marriage had been ruined by Mu Qiqi and Xiao. If Mu Qiqi was really pregnant this time, she would definitely think of ways to let Mu Qiqi have a taste of miscarriage and not being able to give birth. So the next day she went to the hospital again and asked about Mu Qiqi from the obstetrics and gynecology department. The doctor was unwilling to reveal Mu Qiqi's situation. After all, it involved other people's privacy. So, Gu Xiling spent a lot of money to ask the obstetrics and gynecology nurse. The nurse took the money and naturally told her the truth. Miss Mu is not pregnant, nor is she a patient. Then why did she come to the obstetrics and gynecology department? To see her friend. It's that Miss Feng who's pregnant, the nurse told her personally. When Gu Xiling heard this, she looked extremely disappointed. It wasn't Mu Qiqi who was pregnant but Feng Xianxian. The money was really not worth it. After returning home, Gu Xiling didn't say a word. Whenever Sheng Kai saw her putting on an act, he wanted to slap her. Even now she was still putting on the airs of a young lady. How's the investigation? Mu Qiqi isn't pregnant and Mu Qiqi isn't the one seeing the doctor, Gu Xiling answered as she took out something from her bag. Then who is it? Feng Xianxian. Sheng Kai also smiled when he heard Feng Xianxian's name. It's actually Feng Xianxian. It's good. I can give Qingbin a big gift. Gu Xiling didn't know that Sheng Kai and Qingbin had met in private, nor did she know about the complicated relationship between Feng Xianxian, Tang Yan and Qingbin. She only saw a scheming look in Sheng Kai's eyes. Could it be that if Mu Qiqi wasn't pregnant he wouldn't even let Feng Xianxian off? You're really unscrupulous. That's why you have to be obedient, Sheng Kai warned Feng Xianxian. Feng Xianxian couldn't help but shiver. Mu Qiqi knew that Feng Xianxian had gone to Professor Tang's house, so she was naturally much more at ease. At least Tang Yan would be easier to accept such an arrangement. Of course, the two of them still didn't know that Sheng Kai had already told Qingbin about this. To Qingbin, grasping Tang Yan's weakness was equivalent to letting Tang Yan wait for death. However, now that Feng Xianxian had been taken away by Tang Yan's uncle, he could only put in some effort if he wanted to find an opportunity to attack her. Late at night, Mu Qiqi called Feng Xianxian. She wanted to know if she was being properly taken care of at the professor's house. Feng Xianxian was staying in Tang Yan's room when he was young. She felt very safe, so she answered Mu Qiqi, "There's no better arrangement than this." Smelling Tang Yan's scent and looking at Tang Yan's things, it was as if Tang Yan was by her side. This made her feel that she could rest peacefully. Perhaps the professor knew that she had this kind of mentality. Even though he knew that Tang Yan's room was very small, he still made some modifications and let Feng Xianxian stay there. Hearing Feng Xianxian's answer, Mu Qiqi finally felt relieved. Chapter 751. Got it. Why are you so naggy? Feng Xianxian said to Mu Qiqi in disdain. If you don't want me to nag, you have to remember it well, Mu Qiqi said patiently. She had worried a lot for this person and the child in her stomach. Feng Xianxian took a deep breath and looked like she had accepted her fate. I'll remember it. Mu Qiqi was satisfied with the answer and hung up. At that moment, Tang Yan's aunt entered Feng Xianxian's room with hot chicken soup. Child, drink it while it's hot. I've already removed the blisters for you. Don't worry, you won't get fat. Thank you, Auntie. Feng Xianxian quickly sat up and took the porcelain bowl from her aunt. Tang Yan has a hard life. He lost his parents when he was young. For the first 30 years he was like a walking corpse. He didn't know who he was living for. It wasn't easy for him to get a girlfriend, but none of them treated him sincerely. Xianxian, you're the only one who doesn't care about anything and is willing to understand that kid. You don't know how much our family is grateful to you." As she spoke, Tang Yan's aunt started to wipe her tears. One could imagine how much she had worried for Tang Yan all these years. "When your child is born in the future, just do what you want to do. We'll help you take care of the child." "Thank you, Auntie," Feng Xianxian said as she hugged the warm chicken soup. "What are you thanking me for? You and the child aren't very stable yet, so I won't disturb you anymore. You should rest early. His uncle and I have been keeping this room for Tang Yan. Every time he comes over, he stays here, so I think you'll feel more at ease living here." Feng Xianxian nodded. Her words of gratitude were overflowing. However, before she went to bed, she still habitually dialed Tang Yan's number. Although his phone was still turned off at this moment, her heart was no longer as flustered as before. Instead, there was a hint of warmth. The next day, Mu Qiqi was still sleeping on the bed. Xianxia took the jewelry that he had just made and put it on her wrist. When Mu Qiqi opened her eyes, she tugged at the chain on her wrist in a daze. Then she sat up and saw that the man was wearing a white shirt. So she got off the bed barefooted and hugged his waist. "You're done so soon?" "The other set is in the study," Xianxia replied calmly. "It's not very exquisite because it's functional. I like the industrial style." Mu Qiqi shook the bracelet on her wrist. It was a pure black bracelet made of titanium steel. There were several unique geometric patterns hanging on it, each of which contained a great deal of meaning. "By the way, when I went to the hospital to visit Feng Xianxian last night, I bumped into Gu Xiling. So, I plan to go to the hospital again today to check if this woman has asked about anything. After all, she's very curious about everything about us." Mu Qiqi was now more cautious than before. At that, Xianxia turned and pinched Mu Qiqi's chin. "You're spending more and more time on other people. I'm not happy. Stingy, but I haven't missed you at all." Mu Qiqi comforted the man. "When I went to the hospital yesterday, I bought you some medicine to prevent stomach pain. You didn't eat lunch yesterday and only drank coffee. Don't think that I don't know. The medicine is in your bag. I'll give it to Suche later." "Did I install a GPS on your bracelet, or did you install a surveillance camera in my office?" Xianxia asked Mu Qiqi teasingly. "The secretary is one of my people. You have to know that she will inform me of your every move through text messages." "What's wrong?" Xianxia let go of Mu Qiqi's chin and was satisfied. "I'll get it myself. I don't need Suche to do it." Mu Qiqi knew that this trick would definitely work on him. Xianxia put on his coat and went to the study. He pulled Mu Qiqi's bag and unzipped it. When he saw that there was really stomach medicine inside, he could not help but smile. He did not raise this little thing for nothing. She still knew how to dote on him. Qiao Xing was in a good mood. He was so happy throughout breakfast. "It's not easy to have a weekend. When I come back from the hospital, I'll immediately go to Sonda class. Then I'll accompany you for lunch. In the afternoon, I'll go to see Xianxian. I haven't contacted her for a long time. I don't know how she's doing." "Got it. I'll ask Suche to book a place." Xiao Xing wanted to maintain his pride. Mama Sheng heard their conversation and roughly knew what Mu Qiqi was busy with recently. So she suggested, "Xiaoqi, if you don't think it's safe, bring your friend to our house. I can take care of her too." "Mommy, there's no need. We'll all feel uncomfortable." "I don't want you to be tired," Mu Qiqi quickly answered obediently. "It really takes courage to be pregnant when you're still a student. No matter what, if you need anything, just tell me." Mu Qiqi knew that Mama Xing was being kind. But both she and Feng Xianxian would feel uncomfortable. After breakfast, she went to the hospital as promised and asked Feng Xianxian's attending doctor. The attending doctor thought for a while and recalled Gu Xiling. "There was a Miss Gu who came to ask if you were pregnant. I didn't reveal it to her. You know, this is a patient's privacy. It's not convenient for me to reveal it. However, I don't know if she asked someone else," the doctor explained to her. According to Gu Xiling's personality, she would definitely ask someone else. Moreover, she had no way of knowing if she had already found out. She had clearly failed so many times, but she still did not know how to stop. She always held on to the grudge from the past and refused to let go. Mu Qiqi was very helpless. Because she knew that Gu Xiling had always felt that she was the one who snatched Xianxia away. She was the one who snatched away the strongest man in Jianchuan. That was why Gu Xiling refused to let go of any opportunity to deal with them. However, if she found out that Feng Xianxian was pregnant, would there be serious consequences? She did not know what was going on with Xing Kai and Third Master Long, so she did not go back to the branch office to ask. With a trace of worry, Mu Qiqi went to the mixed martial arts school. Even if she was anxious now, it would be useless. However, during lunch she frequently fell into a daze which made Xing Xiao quite dissatisfied. I just taught you a lesson this morning, and now you're being disobedient again? Xiao, what harm would it do if Xing Kai finds out that Feng Xianxian is pregnant? After Xing Xiao heard this, he put down his knife and fork and stared at Mu Qiqi. After a while he replied, according to the latest news, Xing Kai and Third Master Long should have buried the hatchet. If I were Xing Kai, I would still form an alliance with Third Master Long. Chapter 752. Mu Qiqi had to inform Feng Xianxian of her worries over the phone, but Feng Xianxian laughed it off. I don't go out now and I'm living in the military compound. Even if Qing Bin wants to make a move on me, he has to find an opportunity. Feng Xianxian looked down at her abdomen and comforted Mu Qiqi. Besides, you can locate me no matter where I go. What's there to be afraid of? No, I won't be at ease until Captain Tang returns. The bodyguards will report to the professor's house tonight. Mu Qiqi insisted on being watertight. Even if you don't need it, the professor and his wife will. It's hard to guarantee that Qing Bin won't find an opportunity to make a move on you and won't shift his target to someone else. Okay, I'll listen to you. Therefore, that night the two young bodyguards reported to the professor's downstairs on time. When Professor Tang saw this and heard Feng Xianxian's explanation, he smiled in relief. Xiaoqi is really loyal. It's your blessing to have a friend like her. I'm just afraid of causing you inconvenience. We all know about Qing Bin's matter. There's nothing wrong with Xiaoqi being so cautious. Besides, she's not guarding at home, so there's nothing inconvenient about it. Professor Tang comforted Feng Xianxian. When Tang Yan comes back, ask him to quickly settle Qing Bin's matter. Otherwise, we won't be able to rest assured if he threatens you all day. He also wants to settle it. However, Qing Bin did not make a move and did not make any mistakes. As a police officer, he could not abuse law enforcement. Everything could only be decided after Tang Yan returned. Qing Bin's men observed Professor Tang for an entire day. Not to mention making a move, they could not even see Feng Xianxian. In addition, Mu Qiqi had hired bodyguards. It was almost impossible for Qing Bin to do anything before Tang Yan returned. Third Master Long noticed that Qing Bin had been absent-minded the whole day, so he asked him, now that Tang Yan is a criminal police officer, he's surrounded by elite backbones at all times. His physical fitness and mind are also strong. In addition, he knows that you've been released from prison and is on guard everywhere. It's impossible for you to deal with him now. But Third Master, he's not a narcotics officer now, but he's still investigating the source of those things that appeared in Huang Yao. Aren't you afraid? Qing Bin asked Third Master Long, what am I afraid of? I'm a serious businessman now. Those messy things have nothing to do with me. I don't need to be afraid at all. On the other hand, you Qing Bin can't bear to mess up big plans. If you don't have enough patience and can't wait until Tang Yan lets his guard down, then the prison door will open for you. Qing Bin also understood this logic. However, Feng Xianxian was clearly Tang Yan's weakness. It was also a rare opportunity for him to take revenge on Tang Yan in the near future. Unfortunately, Feng Xianxian was surrounded by people who were not to be trifled with, and Mu Qiqi was the first to bear the brunt. No, it should be Xing Xiao who was standing behind Mu Qiqi. This man was not inferior to Tang Yan at all. In fact, in terms of scheming, he was invincible. Third Master, I've suffered a lot in prison for so many years. I once swore that if I can't cripple Tang Yan with my own hands, then the rest of my life will be in vain. I'm not afraid to tell you that Tang Yan's woman is pregnant. I've been observing her for a few days. Tang Yan isn't in Jianchuan, so I plan to use his woman to attack him. You don't want someone to stand behind you with a knife all the time, do you? So, no matter what, I won't give up this opportunity. I also hope that you can fulfill my wish. Of course, if you don't want to get involved, it's fine. I just hope that you won't stand in the way. When Third Master Long recruited Qing Bin, he knew that this person was not easy to control. He was a ticking time bomb. After Third Master Long heard this, he did not say anything. He only sighed faintly. If you fail, contact Uncle Chong. He can help you deal with the aftermath. Thank you, Third Master. After Qing Bin finished speaking, he cupped his fists and bowed. This was considered giving third master enough face and respect, but he would still do it. It didn't matter if Feng Xianxian hid and did not come out, but wasn't she pregnant? She had to go for a prenatal checkup, right? He did not believe that he could not seize the slightest chance. But how could Mu Qiqi not understand what he understood? Feng Xianxian would definitely not choose the same hospital for her prenatal checkup. At most, it would be a little more troublesome. At night, Mu Qiqi followed her usual practice of talking to Feng Xianxian. She was stricter than an old maid. In 2 days you'll be going for a prenatal checkup. I'll have to send more people. Am I pregnant with a national treasure? Feng Xianxian could not help but laugh. You're still laughing? It's my fault. If I hadn't gone to the doctor at that time, I might not have met Gu Xiling. Mu Qiqi silently blamed herself for this matter. What's there to blame? If it weren't for you, I might have been tied up by Qing Bin by now. Feng Xianxian rolled her eyes. Just rest well for 2 days. I promise you I'll be at home and won't go anywhere. Mu Qiqi was satisfied and hung up the phone. Behind her, Xianxia entered the door. His upper body was naked and there were still sparkling water droplets hanging on it. When Mu Qiqi saw this, her body began to heat up. They had clearly been together for several years, but she was still tempted by him. How useless. Tomorrow Shen Kai will announce that he will be joining Changrong as the CEO, Xianxia told Mu Qiqi as he wiped his hair. Mu Qiqi naturally climbed onto the sofa and knelt behind Xianxia. She took his towel and wiped him. That Changrong, which has a very bad reputation and keeps pressuring its employees to commit suicide. What does he think? He needs to rise again. Zhu Che went to investigate. The Gu family has nothing to do with Changrong. This proves that there's someone behind him. What exactly is he doing this for? To catch up to you? Then it's impossible for him to do so in this lifetime, Mu Qiqi said confidently. Mu Qiqi said confidently. If he just wants to suppress Huang Yao, it'll be difficult. After all, third brother may look like a bronze, but he's a fool with a fool's luck. He's surrounded by kings. Now, other than unwillingness, the only thing that can support him is hatred. If he loses these goals, his life will lose half of its meaning. Xianxia combed his hair, hugged Mu Qiqi's lazy waist and put her in his arms. Mu Qiqi leaned into Xianxiao's arms and blinked at him. Still have to go out later. Huh. Chapter 753. Xianxia did not say anything. He simply got up and sat down on the bed. You really have a lot of people to worry about, he said slowly. Mu Qiqi felt sour at those words. She took off her clothes, jumped onto the bed and hugged Xianxia. Xianxia was stunned. He looked down at the woman on top of him. Aren't you going out? I'm not going out. I'm suddenly sleepy. Xianxia pushed her hand away and snorted coldly. Lu Qianqian is waiting. She's so busy now. She wouldn't have time to wait for a little forensic doctor like me. I sent her a message and she said she'll see you another day. Mu Qiqi explained with her eyes half closed. Xianxia was still unmoved. Aren't you going to care about her relationship with Lin Mu-en? Mu Qiqi knew that he was still jealous. She did not say anything and simply crawled under the blanket. Xianxia suddenly took a deep breath. He lifted the blanket and grabbed the naughty little thing. Are you asking for a beating? Mu Qiqi loved listening to Xianxiao's angry and lustful voice the most. It made her whole body go numb and her brain feel so comfortable that it was completely out of control. You're ignoring me. Why do you care? Mu Qiqi said vaguely. Xianxia grabbed her arm and pulled her to him. Who asked you to do that? Where did you learn it? I just want you to be happy. Mu Qiqi blushed. She was a little shy at first but soon regained her bashful look. You're my man. I love every part of your body. What's wrong? Xianxia scrunched up his face. I don't need you to please me. But, don't you want to? What Xianxia could not stand the most was Mu Qiqi's expression right now. She was asking so seriously and her eyes were misty, making it impossible for him to refuse her. So he turned around and regained his sovereignty. I won't be able to handle it if you go and look at something weird again, little one. Even if I look at something weird, it's only for you. With those words, a night of entanglement was inevitable. It was as if Xianxia could never have enough of this little one. They were already an old couple, but he was still so hungry. Of course, this thing still had some eyesight. It could see through his anger at a glance, and it also knew to come and coax him at the first instance. After verifying it in many ways, it was indeed not in vain. As for Lu Xianxian, she was going to talk about a collaboration that day, so she rejected Mu Qiqi. It was fair for each of them. Although she and Xiaoqi had not seen each other for a long time, they were like old friends and did not feel distant at all. She understood Mu Qiqi. She did not go out last night because she was held back by someone and could not move. While she was used to Mu Qiqi prioritizing her lover over her friends. This was the 5th day since Tang Yan left. Logically speaking, he should be returning within these 2 days. Feng Xianxian wanted to wait for him to come back before going for a prenatal checkup. However, if he didn't come back, what would happen if the baby in her stomach was delayed? Therefore, after much consideration, she discussed with the professor and decided to go to the hospital first to ensure the safety of the mother and child. In the morning when she was going to the hospital, Feng Xianxian called Mu Qiqi. She also applied for leave and sent more bodyguards to protect Feng Xianxian. When Qingbin saw this, he knew that his plan could not be carried out again. It was all because of Mu Qiqi's tricks. Who was this to her? Why did she have to protect her so well? Qingbin felt indignant just thinking about it. However, in the blink of an eye, Mu Qiqi had sent all the bodyguards to Feng Xianxian. In other words, the old couple at home were alone. It was not that he did not have a chance, so he changed his route. Although he might not be able to do anything to Feng Xianxian, he could still think of many ways to deal with this pair of old things. According to the observation of the people he sent, Professor Tang always drove to the branch office by himself. The route was also the same and had never changed. However, the traffic on that road was complicated, so there were not many places to start. On the other hand, Tang Yan's aunt always went out alone and did not like to drive, so she could be a target. However, he had underestimated Mu Qiqi's intelligence. After all, Mu Qiqi was a forensic doctor and had dealt with criminals of different levels. She would also make assumptions and think about what these criminals were thinking. Now that the entire family's attention was on Feng Xianxian, it would not be easy for Professor Tang and his wife to attract the attention of others. The chances of attacking them were much higher. Qingbin had this in mind, so he was at ease not far from the entrance of the courtyard to observe when Tang Yan's aunt went out. Not long after Feng Xianxian left, her aunt also went out with the information. She was used to taking a car because it was environmentally friendly. When they passed through the narrow alley, Qingbin signaled to the helper in the car to drive over and kidnap her into the car. And the helper did so. However, it was at this moment that a white car suddenly blocked the path of the small truck and picked up Tang Yan's aunt. When Qingbin saw this, he immediately retreated. Because he knew that he was also being targeted. It was Mu Qiqi again. Not only that, but when Qingbin left, he also received a note from an adult. The handwriting on it was beautiful, and it was obvious that it was written by a woman. It was so difficult to get out of prison, and as soon as you got out of prison, you had the idea of hitting a pregnant woman. Do you want to go back immediately? Qingbin was so angry that he tore the note to shreds. Because he suddenly understood that he was too stupid. He had come to alert the enemy before everything was ready. This was clearly the behavior of a reckless man. How could he have schemed against Tang Yan? He was too impulsive and overconfident. Or perhaps he had become stupid after being in prison. That was why he made such a stupid decision. Of course, there was also Sheng Kai's instigation and encouragement. It turned out that third master's words were all right. Hiding was his way out. Thinking of this, Qingbin immediately retreated. Feng Xianxian was only pregnant and she still had to give birth. Even if the child was safely born, it would take time to raise it into an adult. There were so many opportunities in the future. Why was he so obsessed? Of course, if he wanted to fight to the death, then killing Feng Xianxian alone would be enough to make Tang Yan wish he was dead. Therefore, he would always pay attention and monitor Feng Xianxian. Because of Mu Qiqi's protection, Feng Xianxian went through the prenatal checkup smoothly. When the doctor got the results, he said that there were some small problems, but he only asked her to have regular prenatal checkup. It would not have much of an impact. Mu Qiqi watched her finish the ultrasound and was relieved. I think Captain Tang should be back in the next 2 days. When that time comes, I'll remove your bodyguards. Did you see Qingbin today? Feng Xianxian asked her. Chapter 754. Qing Bin returned empty-handed. After returning to his residence he kept drinking. But as long as he closed his eyes he could remember how he had suffered in prison all these years, and how his former brothers were sent to prison by Tang Yan. He would never forget it for a moment. At that moment, the television news was broadcasting the news of Xing Kai's inauguration as Chongrong's chairman. Qing Bin put down the bottle and went to Third Master Long's manor. Third Master, I'm sorry. Third Master Long knew that he wanted to rely on Xing Kai and did not force him. A good bird chooses a tree to nest in. I won't blame you. You can go. Why did Qing Bin choose Xing Kai? It was because Xing Kai had a deep grudge against the Xing family, which was why he was closer to his destination. Third Master Long only wanted to protect himself, so even if Xing Kai was an idiot he was willing to follow him. In the afternoon the news of Xing Kai's inauguration was still rolling. The secretary received Xing Zhao's order and entered the office to wait for instructions. Prepare a gift and send it to Chongrong. Yes, President, the secretary said respectfully. Then do you have any requests for gifts? I don't have any requests. Just give it to me, Xing Xiao said without looking up. He was just being polite. Actually, today the people around Xing Kai kept congratulating him, but what really caught his attention was the gift from Zhongting. What was that supposed to mean? A reminder? Don't forget the future is long. Gu Xiling was quite obedient today. No matter how unwilling she was, Xing Kai was the CEO of a company, and she was the CEO's wife. Chongrong's reputation used to be very bad. Perhaps if the two of them worked hard they could change the situation. However, she had no idea how naive she was, because she did not understand the meaning of Chongrong's existence. In the evening, Qing Bin appeared at Chongrong's banquet. Xing Kai saw Qing Bin appear at the door and asked someone to bring him into the VIP room. A moment later he left the guest and entered the VIP room. Before Qing Bin could speak he said, "You failed, right? You know, with Mu Qiqi and Xing Xiao around it'll be hard for you to succeed. If you really want revenge the first thing you have to do is to get rid of these two people. I happen to lack a bodyguard. How about it? Are you interested? I can take up the position at any time," Qing Bin replied. "Welcome to my team." Xing Kai laughed. "Of course I have to package you well. At the very least I'm the CEO of Chongrong. I can't bring a person with a criminal record with me. But you don't have to worry about that. Go home and wait for my call." Qing Bin stood up from the sofa. Before he left he asked Xing Kai hesitantly, "Will you really help me take revenge? I'm not like Third Master Long. My goal is very clear. I want to deal with the Xing family. I've helped you clear away the Xing family. Whether it's Feng Xianshan or Tang Yan, they've all lost their protection. Do you think it'll be easy for you to do it? Does this count as help?" Qing Bin was silent. He turned around and left the hotel's VIP room. After Qing Bin left, Xing Kai called Jin Bo. "Godfather, I found a fighter. Everything is ready. Kai, in order to celebrate you taking over Chongrong, Godfather wants to give you a gift." Xing Kai did not know what gift Jin Bo was talking about. He only felt anticipation from the bottom of his heart. "Then I'll thank you in advance, Godfather. What else could it be that could make Xing Kai happy? It must be related to the Xing family." Late at night the cool breeze continued. Mu Qiqi personally delivered the other set of jewelry to Xing Bowen to express her sincerity. There's a GPS device inside. It's also for third sister-in-law's safety. After all, Qing Bin was watching Feng Xianshan and Xing Kai was watching the Xing family. None of them were easy to deal with. "I really didn't expect you to give me such a gift. It really surprised me." Xing Bowen put away the box in surprise. He was afraid that Mu Qiqi would take it back if he was a second late. "Things are secondary. The most important thing is that you take good care of her." Mu Qiqi rolled her eyes at Xing Bowen. "Alright, I can't be out for too long. That person at home has a bad temper recently. I'm afraid of being taught a lesson. Go. It's time for me to go home and present the treasure." Xing Bowen hugged the box and was so happy that he couldn't control himself. Since it was made by Zhongting it must be something good. In the middle of the night, Tang Yan returned home after completing his mission. However, because it was 3 o'clock in the morning, he did not make much noise. His phone was out of battery and he could not turn it on. When he entered the house he realized a serious problem. Why was Feng Xianshan not at home again? The last time he left without saying goodbye, Feng Xianxian was angry and wanted to break up with him. But this time he had told Feng Xianxian in advance. Why was she still not at home? Didn't he tell her to stay at home obediently? After taking a shower, Tang Yan came out of the bathroom and found that the furniture in the house was covered in a layer of dust. It was obvious that she had been gone for more than a day or two. Then Tang Yan turned on his phone and found that Feng Xianxian would send him a text message on time every day. Are you home? When are you going home? Call me immediately when you're home. I'm staying at my uncle's house. Uncle? Tang Yan reacted for a moment. It should be his uncle without a doubt. Perhaps something had happened in the past few days when he was not around. That was why Feng Xianxian was staying at the professor's house. Since she was safe, there was no need for him to be in a hurry. So he sat down on the sofa, took out the medicine box and applied medicine on himself. This time the injury was not too serious. It was just a gunshot in the lower abdomen. The bullet had been taken out and now it was time to change the medicine. Lying on the bed that still had Feng Xianxian's fragrance, Tang Yan's emotions suddenly calmed down. However, it seemed that every time he was loaned out he would never return in one piece. He would always be injured. If Feng Xianxian found out, she would be worried again. The next morning, Feng Xianxian took the initiative to go home because she was used to calling once in the morning and once in the morning. This time the call went through. She knew that someone had returned. So she asked Professor Tang to send her home in the morning. Because the professor was busy with work, he only said that he would teach someone a lesson at night and drove away. After entering the house, Feng Xianxian saw that the coffee table in the living room was covered in bloody bandages. Her heart sank. She knew that someone had returned with injuries again. Then she quietly entered the bedroom and saw that someone was lying on the bed with his upper body naked. She did not disturb him and simply tidied up the house, waiting for him to wake up. Tang Yan woke up from his deep sleep when it was almost noon. When he pushed the door open and saw Feng Xianxian, he immediately hugged her. However, because he used too much force, Feng Xianxian pushed him away. Chapter 755. No. Feng Xianxian tried her best to keep herself calm and took out breakfast. I know you can't eat, but how much do you need to eat? You're so seriously injured. If you don't eat, how are you going to recover? Tang Yan was stunned for a moment. Then he stopped the busy Feng Xianxian and said, I've already communicated with the chief. In the future I won't participate in such cases anymore. Sit down. Feng Xianxian was still very calm. Tang Yan felt a little uneasy. After all, it wasn't Feng Xianxian's personality to not have much emotional fluctuations. So he grabbed Feng Xianxian's hand. After this case I can rest for a few more days. I'll stay at home with you. You want to accompany me? Feng Xianxian rolled her eyes. Sit down first. Tang Yan sat down. However, he sat down with his hand covering his wound. Feng Xianxian saw it and snorted coldly. I don't know if you're accompanying me or if I'm accompanying you. In order to punish this man, Feng Xianxian didn't plan to tell him about her pregnancy. However, because of the doctor's advice, she had to stay in bed as much as possible. So she simply tidied up the house and went to bed again. There was still Tang Yan's body temperature under the blanket. Feng Xianxian finally felt at ease and fell asleep peacefully. Seeing that Feng Xianxian had fallen asleep, Tang Yan knew that she had been worried all day, so he ate a few mouthfuls of breakfast and returned to bed. He lay down beside Feng Xianxian and held her in his arms. In her sleep, Feng Xianxian was very uneasy. She kept kicking the blanket and sometimes she would even talk in her sleep. Tang Yan's heart ached. He had never felt so deeply that he wasn't a man. Then he hugged Feng Xianxian tightly and comforted her gently. I'm here. I'm back. Originally, Tang Yan wanted to hug Feng Xianxian and sleep for the whole day, but the police station still called. Captain Tang, there's another suicide at Chongrong Electronics. This is the 4th case in the past 2 years. Also, there's something strange. The girl who committed suicide this time has a lot of similarities with the suicide case we determined previously. It was a call from Old Cheng. He had only been back for one night and these people already knew his whereabouts. Initially, Tang Yan didn't want to bother with it, but he knew that Sheng Kai had taken over Chongrong Electronics. So, after making lunch for Feng Xianxian, he went out with his injuries. After arriving at the branch office, Old Qing quickly came up to him. However, when he saw that Tang Yen didn't look well, he felt a little guilty. "Captain Tang, are you injured?" "It's a small injury," Tang Yen answered. "I don't want to disturb you, but this matter is a little." "I'll go to the autopsy room first," Tang Yen said firmly again. Then he turned the corner and went to the autopsy room. Professor Tang looked up and saw him. He stopped his work and glared at him. "Why are you here?" "Coming back to work right after coming back?" "To work, right. She's resting at home." "I'm just here to report to the director," Tang Yen explained. He did not understand why the professor was so agitated. She, to say T to she. To T, I to Shan, T, he to D to T to Feng, T. "I'll go back after I finish my report," Tang Yen promised. "Get lost. I'll deal with the director." Professor Tang instructed, "You're already going to be a father, yet you don't care about your family at all. If I were Xianxia, I would leave you immediately. What a bastard." Tang Yen listened for a while and caught the main point of the professor's words. "What do you mean by becoming a father? Xianxia didn't tell you?" "Say what?" "She's pregnant." Professor Tang glared at Tang Yen with a disappointed look. Hearing these words, Tang Yen was stunned and his body stiffened. A moment later he turned around and left, completely ignoring old Cheng's shouts behind him. No wonder she wanted to move to his uncle's house. No wonder she wanted to rest in bed in broad daylight. No wonder, when she saw him, her tone was so calm. No wonder. Tang Yen drove straight home. When he entered the house, Feng Xianxian was still unconscious. Tang Yan's gaze then fell on her smooth lower abdomen. It was in this place that a child belonging to him and Feng Xianxian was born. He didn't want Feng Xianxian to suffer so early, but when he heard the news, the corners of his mouth couldn't help but curl up. His mind was filled with the image of Feng Xianxian with the child. That was his flesh and blood. Tang Yen felt like he was going crazy. Feng Xianxian slept until the afternoon. It was Mu Qiqi's call that woke her up. Feng Xianxian reached out to pick up the call. It was Mu Qiqi who asked twice a day, "Captain Tang isn't back yet?" "Oh, he's back," Feng Xianxian sat up and answered. "What was his expression when he found out you were pregnant?" "I haven't told him yet." Feng Xianxian rubbed her hair. "I felt sleepy when I got home and slept until now." "All right, then you rest." Mu Qiqi hung up and Feng Xianxian also put down her phone. Then she saw Tang Yen appear at the bedroom door. "Did you sleep enough?" Feng Xianxian nodded and touched her stomach. "I'm a little hungry. Get up and I'll take you to eat. Then we'll go to the hospital for a checkup. I want to see it with my own eyes." Tang Yen helped her up. Feng Xianxian was stunned for a moment and looked at Tang Yen. "Weren't you afraid of dragging me down in the past? Now that I'm pregnant, isn't it even more dangerous? We're getting married right away. I don't want you and the child to get criticized by others. Whether it's dangerous or not, we'll talk about it later. I'll take care of it. Are you willing to marry me because of the child?" Feng Xianxian frowned and sat by the bed, unwilling to get up. "No, I never planned to let go. It's just that the child appeared earlier," Tang Yen explained. These were his heartfelt words. "Ever since we got together, I've treated you as my only partner in this life. It's never changed. You didn't tell me. In the past, you always thought that you didn't want to have any emotional involvement with me. Even if I told you, you wouldn't care." That was true. Feng Xianxian was finally satisfied. She grabbed Tang Yan's hand and got up. "Actually, if you want to go on a business trip and investigate a case, it's still the same. I only hope that you can do what you promised me. When we give birth, you must be by my side. Even if it's investigating a case or carrying out a mission, I only want to be by your side." Tang Yen said what he really thought because this was what he was thinking about when he was carrying out a mission. "I don't want to get hurt again in the future." Chapter 756. After nightfall, Tang Yen brought Feng Xianxian to the banyan courtyard. This was the first time the two of them had officially entered Mu Qiqi and Xing Zhao's love nest. Of course, Mama Xing and Papa Xing had left in the evening for a vacation in France. Now only the couple and fifth aunt were left at home. It's only a few minutes away and we're all in the same area. Why is the difference so big? Feng Xianxian couldn't help but sigh after visiting the banyan courtyard. My family works so hard to earn money. If the house he buys is only as big as the poor people like you, that would be crazy. Mu Chichi snorted lightly, but she gestured for the two of them to sit in the living room and asked Fifth Aunt to make tea. Why, is Thanksgiving here? Xiaoqi, it's been hard on you these few days, Tang Yan said to Mu Chichi without waiting for Feng Xianxian's reminder. Sai, I don't know what to say. Your identity means that you can't live a peaceful life with her, but I can't leave her alone, so I can only worry about her. Mu Chichi shrugged. In a while, I'll give you the GPS system so that you can monitor this pregnant woman at any time. She's younger than you. Feng Xianxian patted her belly unhappily. While the two of them were bickering, Xianxia walked out of the study on the second floor and looked at Tang Yan. Is it convenient for us to talk? The two women looked at each other. When did the two of them become so familiar with each other? However, before the two of them could react, Tang Yan had already stood up and followed them to the second floor. Mu Chichi looked at Feng Xianxian suspiciously and then understood. It's probably because of Changrong and Xing Kai. Qingbin followed Xing Kai. The first thing Xing Xiao said after closing the door was to tell Tang Yan this news. Xing Kai isn't as difficult to deal with as Third Master Long, but he's definitely more disgusting than Third Master Long. Third Master Long knows how to weigh the pros and cons. Benefits come first, but Xing Kai is only doing it for revenge. Xing Kai needs a fighter who won't break his arm, and Qingbin needs a chance to get close to you. That's why the two of them joined forces so quickly. Therefore their target is no longer just you or me but all of us. After Tang Yan heard Xing Zhao's words, he nodded lightly. I will thoroughly investigate the matter regarding Changrong. The mad dog is so eager to bite me, so I can't sit still and wait for death. A few years ago I could send Qingbin to prison. Today I can also make Xing Kai stay in prison. Let me know if you need any help, Xing Xiao said to Tang Yan. I don't need any help except protect Feng Xianxian. Xing Xiao knew that it was Tang Yan's ribs. Just like Mu Chichi to him, no one could touch it. The two men exchanged a few words and returned to their respective women. Downstairs, Mu Chichi and Feng Xianxian were almost done. Captain Tang has just returned. You must have a lot to say. Don't waste your time here. Go back. Mu Chichi began to chase the guests away. It was rare that her parents were not at home and she had something she wanted to do with Xiao. I don't plan to stay long. Feng Xianxian snorted and stood up with Tang Yan's help. By the way, I know a little about Changrong Electronics. It seems that the Major Crimes Division is in charge of this case. Xiaoqi, are you going to participate too? You're a pregnant woman. Why are you worrying so much? Mu Chichi glared at her. Go back and rest. Of course, Mu Chichi wanted to participate. Not only because she wanted to see Xing Kai play tricks, but she also wanted to know what kind of secrets were hidden behind so many suicides. Of course, she did not know that this case was related to the previous one. However, since it concerned Xing Kai, Xiao might not agree to her participating in the case. Tang Yan did not say anything. The two of them came over to thank her and turned to leave. Mu Chichi looked at their backs and quickly asked Fifth Aunt to go home. Then she locked the door and sneakily went to the study. Xing Xiao crossed his arms and looked at her. What are you playing at? Mom and Dad aren't home and Fifth Aunt left. Mu Chichi climbed onto Xing Xiao's legs and said. So? Xing Xiao asked her with a faint smile. He knew what she wanted, but he deliberately teased her and made her say it herself. I want to go to the living room. Mu Chichi drew a circle on Xing Xiao's chest. Why do you want to go to the living room? Xing Xiao planned to play dumb until the end. What do you think? Mu Chichi snorted. Let's sleep in the living room tonight. It was impossible for him not to understand such an obvious hint, right? Sure enough, Xing Xiao carried Mu Chichi horizontally and walked straight to the living room downstairs. Little one, I'll be tortured to death by you sooner or later. Mu Chichi was young and was at the age when all aspects of her qualities were strong. As a man in his 30s, he naturally had to be satisfied every day. No matter what, he couldn't let his woman suffer, right? Tang Yan brought Feng Xianxian home and personally wiped her face and feet. Feng Xianxian felt that this was not something a man should do, but Tang Yan held her hand. This is all I can do for you. If you don't let me, I'll feel very guilty. Feng Xianxian saw that he did not change his clothes and knew that he was actually waiting to report to the branch office at night. Are you still going out? I have to accept the matter of Chongrong Electronics as soon as possible and thoroughly investigate Xing Kai. Why? Qingbin followed Xing Kai, Tang Yan answered calmly. Feng Xianxian immediately understood when she heard that. This was also the reason why Xing Xiao had asked her to go to the study to discuss. Feng Xianxian did not stop him. She held Tang Yan's handsome face and kissed it gently. Be careful. I'll change your dressing later before you leave. Don't force yourself. Let senior brother Long and the others do the physical work. Tang Yan took the opportunity to hold Feng Xianxian's hand and said in a rather emotional tone, when I'm free tomorrow or the day after, I'll make a report and then register with you. Tomorrow afternoon I'll accompany you for a prenatal checkup. Feng Xianxian nodded. Actually, she was already very satisfied that Tang Yan could do this. I'm not that weak. I just want to know that you're safe. No matter what you're doing, I'll be at ease. Tang Yan rubbed Feng Xianxian's head and continued to massage the soles of her feet. After you're pregnant, you've become more sensible. Feng Xianxian did not say anything. Under Tang Yan's care, she lay on the bed. Perhaps it was because she was pregnant, but she was very sleepy. After lying in Tang Yan's arms for 10 minutes, she fell asleep. Looking at Feng Xianxian like this, Tang Yan's heart ached. For him, this woman had given up her studies and career. Now she was even pregnant before marriage. He really owed her too much. Chapter 757. Of course, Xing Kai had not expected Chongrong to have another suicide incident. However, as soon as he took over the position of CO, such a scandal broke out that night, making it very difficult for him to do public relations. For this reason, he could not understand why Jinbo wanted him to invest in Chongrong. There were so many scandals and even the criminal police had come to his door. Did his godfather want him to make money? For this reason, Xing Kai called Jinbo godfather. You already know about another employee committing suicide, right? If an employee wants to commit suicide, can't you just relax the benefits and shorten the working hours? They must be under too much pressure at work. That's why they did this. Jinbo maintained his usual amiable tone and lectured Xing Kai diligently. Godfather, I still don't quite understand why you asked me to take over Chongrong. You just have to do it honestly and deal with the police well. Anyway, this is a suicide and it has nothing to do with you. You just have to do public relations well. When this matter is over, the gift I gave you will almost arrive. Just wait. If there's nothing else, I'm still busy, so I'll hang up. After Jinbo finished speaking, he hung up on Xing Kai. Xing Kai put away his phone. He really did not understand, but he could only do as Jinbo said. There were some paths that once you moved forward, you could not turn back. At 10 o'clock in the evening, Tang Yan went out to the field with old Cheng and senior brother Long. For this reason, old Cheng and senior brother Long yawned and asked Tang Yan, Captain Tang, why are you going so late? If it weren't for the fact that your field work isn't good enough, we could be having a comfortable meeting in the branch office right now. We wouldn't need to go to the crime scene. Tang Yan looked at the photos they had taken and said, since you've discovered the similarities with the previous case, why are you still so careless? Old Cheng and senior brother Long looked at each other and did not say anything. If they were as careful as Tang Yan, they would not have been a criminal police officer after working for so many years. Are they really not as good as Mu Chichi? The two of them coughed lightly. They were familiar with Chongrong's access control. Because it was already after work, there was no one else in Chongrong Electronics other than the guard. Officer, didn't you come here during the day? We don't care about time when investigating cases. In order to find the real culprit as soon as possible, please cooperate. Where's the person in charge of Chongrong? After Tang Yan finished speaking to the guard, he turned to ask old Cheng. He was referring to Xing Kai. Wait in the office, old Cheng replied. Let's go to the scene first and then meet him, Tang Yan ordered. Aren't we going to see him first? They're still waiting. Old Cheng thought to himself that Captain Tang really didn't take the other party seriously. Let him wait, Tang Yan answered as he took out his gloves and put them on. Lead the way. The two of them had no objections to their boss's order. They quickly walked in front and went to the crime scene first, which was the staff's dormitory. It was still the same. He took the medicine, died in the bathtub and left a suicide note. Tell me, is there anything similar to the previous case? Tang Yan asked old Qing as he reviewed the scene. In the previous case, Chi-Chi and the professor found out that before the victim committed suicide, she went to get her nails done. She even searched for a guide to travel abroad on the computer. Most importantly, the victim's home, which was the first crime scene, was too clean. It was so clean that even the victim's fingerprints were gone. What about this time? Of course Tang Yan knew. He picked up the case and found a business card under the victim's bed. It's the same for this girl. The day before, she had an appointment with her friends to go to the movies and booked a haircut on the weekend. Although she didn't have any plans to travel abroad, she bought a train ticket home. I heard that her mother was sick. In addition, the room was also abnormally clean. After Tang Yan heard this, he took out a business card from his pocket and handed it to the two of them. Old Qing, look for it carefully. See if there's any information related to this card in this room. Xiaolong and I will go meet Xingkai. Old Qing took the business card and nodded. Don't worry, Captain Tang. When Tang Yan turned around, he covered his wound, which attracted Xiaolong's attention. Captain Tang, you're seriously injured, aren't you? Xiaolong scratched Tang Yan's clothes and found that there was a bandage wrapped around his left abdomen. There were still traces of blood. Is that a gunshot wound or a stab wound? It has nothing to do with you. Don't tell anyone else, Tang Yan said lightly. It's never a good thing when the relevant departments lend you out. Xiaolong rolled his eyes. This person was injured when he went out, so it must be a big case. Soon the two of them arrived at Xingkai's office. At this moment, Qingbin was waiting in the office with Xingkai. Then Tang Yan knocked on the door. Xing, is it convenient for us to talk? When Qingbin heard this voice, he became extremely nervous, but Xingkai reminded him to calm down. Qingbin nodded, got up, opened the door and led Tang Yan into the office. I didn't expect you to be CEO Xing's assistant. Tang Yan looked at Qingbin and said with a hidden meaning. What are you talking about? It's just to support my family. Qingbin still maintained his aloof appearance. Captain Tang, please have a seat. I'm not sitting. I just have a few words to say to CEO Xing. Tang Yan held the documents and looked at Xingkai. Although I don't know why CEO Xing wants to take this position, it's probably because it's easier to earn money from Chongrong. I'm here for nothing else but to inform CEO Xing that since the Major Crimes Division has taken over this case, you should know what it means, right? For the first 3 suicide cases, CEO Xing, please get the relevant personnel to sort them out and hand them over to the police as soon as possible. After Xingkai heard Tang Yan's words, he put down the teacup in his hand and smiled. I heard from the guard downstairs that Captain Tang arrived a long time ago, but you deliberately made me wait for so long. I wonder how I offended you. CEO Xing, you might not know this, but I just came back and haven't had the time to investigate the scene yet. My subordinates didn't do a good job, so I have to personally investigate the scene to be at ease. So it's my fault for making CEO Xing wait, Tang Yan said as he looked at Xingkai. You're just the captain of a criminal police team. Aren't you a little arrogant? This is just a simple suicide case. Is the police so lacking in performance? Maintaining law and order is our duty, Tang Yan replied firmly. Previously, when Zhongting had an accident, we could still cooperate according to the law, but not when it came to Chongrong. Xingkai was choked by Tang Yan. Chapter 758. Captain Tang, you're really eloquent. Ordinary people like us can't resist you at all, Xingkai mocked. It's my duty. Sorry for offending you. From the beginning to the end, Tang Yan was cold and indifferent. He treated everyone according to the rules and did not show any warmth at all. To him, this was a human life. Obviously, Xingkai did not think so in his heart. This was the most obvious difference between Xingkai and Xingxiao. That's all for today. Thank you for your cooperation, CEO Xing. You can go home and rest. After saying that, Tang Yan reminded old Qing and Officer Long to leave. Wait, I heard Captain Tang mention Zhongting just now. I wonder if Captain Tang has a personal relationship with the other CEO Xing of Zhongting? Xingkai suddenly asked. We don't have much of a personal relationship, Tang Yan answered straightforwardly. Captain Tang, don't mind me. I just don't want any personal grudges to be mixed in the case. Of course, I also hope that the police can close the case as soon as possible. After all, I still have to make money. This is a human life. Of course, the police will do our best to solve the case as soon as possible. However, Zhou Xian, you have to understand that the person died in Changrong. You also have the responsibility of failing to supervise him. Don't think that this matter is unrelated to you. Goodbye. After saying that, Tang Yan turned around and left. This made Xianxia very unhappy. A mere criminal police officer actually had such an arrogant attitude. It really made it difficult for him to calm down. Now I can finally understand why you're so ruthless to this police officer. After Tang Yan left, Xianxia said this to Qing Bin. Of course, old Qing and the others who had already left Changrong could not help but be puzzled. Although Captain Tang had always been like this and did things according to the rules, he had never been so cold to anyone. Does Captain Tang have a personal grudge with Zhou Xian? Old Qing asked. However, he was interrupted by senior brother Long. What personal grudge? Don't you see that Zhou Xian doesn't care about the life and death of his employees at all? Think about what Zhongting did before. Although it's rumored that Zhongting Xiao Xingxiao is a good and evil person, what's the truth? He's a magnanimous gentleman. At first glance you can tell that he's full of righteousness. Unlike this person, if he were in a fantasy world he would be a crooked devil. It would be strange if Captain Tang likes him. Old Qing chuckled and nodded. That's right. The two brothers are as different as clouds and mud. This is also why Zhongting can develop and grow so quickly. It's inseparable from the leader's character. Of course. This was also the reason why Tang Yan was willing to have a close relationship with Xianxia. As a human being, especially a man, although he could not say that he would always make the right choice, there were still some things that he could not do. Alright, I'll drive home. You two go back to the station by yourselves. Tang Yan interrupted them. Captain Tang, this is not your style. Aren't you going back to the station? I want to rest. When they heard Tang Yan say that he wanted to rest, Old Qing and Old Qing were so surprised that their jaws almost dropped. Was this still the impartial Captain Tang they knew? However, senior brother Long could understand. Captain Tang is injured. He should rest. By the way, Captain Tang, this is for you. Old Qing took out a card and handed it to Tang Yan. I didn't find any effective information in the deceased's room. Come to the meeting tomorrow. Tang Yan took it back, opened the car door and got into the car. When there was no security system at home, he would definitely stay by Feng Xianxian and the child's side. After Xianxia returned home, he was questioned by Gu Xiling. So late. Why did you come back so late? Do you think it's that easy to deal with the police? Xianxia told Gu Xiling about Tang Yan humiliating him at Changrong today. He said that he doesn't have a personal relationship with Xingxiao. I don't believe him at all. What can I do? Xingxiao is naturally better at winning people over than you in this regard. Gu Xiling snorted. You'd better find your own reasons. Also, Xianxia, I still feel that there's something wrong with this matter. Why did Godfather let you take over a company that always has problems? Aren't you curious? It has nothing to do with you. Just be the wife of the CEO, Xianxia said as he took off his coat. I don't want to care about you either, but I want to make sure that I won't be dragged down by you. After saying this, Gu Xiling entered the bedroom and closed the door. These two people had successfully acted out what it meant by husband and wife being birds in the same forest. When disaster struck, they would fly separately. Of course, Xianxia had thousands of doubts in his heart, but now that his godfather was unwilling to tell him anything, what could he do? The next day, Muqiqi woke up early and obediently went to the kitchen to make breakfast. It was obvious that she had a guilty conscience and wanted to do something to Xingxiao. After Xingxiao went downstairs, he sat at the dining table and drank his coffee. When he saw Muqiqi's little head, he asked without raising his head, "What do you want now? Can you let me participate in the case?" Muqiqi sincerely lay on Xingxiao's body and acted coquettishly. Xianxia suddenly took over Changrong in a mysterious manner. There must be a secret behind it. Other than the old man, the other person he hates the most is you. I think if I participate I can take precautions. No. Xingxiao directly refuted her with 2 words. Moreover, if there's any news, Su Che will know to update it. There's no need for you to specially inquire about it. Muqiqi had no choice but to roll on Xingxiao's body. When Captain Tang wasn't around, I knew you would be worried, so I definitely wouldn't say anything about going to the forensics laboratory to help. But now that Captain Tang is back, he can guarantee my safety. How can you guarantee me something that even he can't guarantee? Xianxia looked at Mu Qiqi mockingly. Don't get any ideas. In the future I'll encounter more dangerous cases. I might even be threatened like Captain Tang. What will you do then? Then we'll talk about it in 2 years. Xianxia stared at Mu Qiqi and said coldly. Mu Qiqi was discouraged, but she couldn't be angry because this man was very good at assessing danger. Since he didn't want her to participate, she should just listen to him, Mu Qiqi thought. I promise you that I won't take the initiative to participate, but if the professor still needs me, I'll go over, okay? Are you sure you don't want to beg Tang Yan? Xianxia glanced at her and asked. I won't. Mu Qiqi raised her hand and swore. She muttered, this Xing Kai is getting more and more out of line. I'm also a member of the Xing family and I also want to participate. I can't always let you and third brother carry the burden. The most important thing is you. Xianxia didn't say anything. He just stroked her hair. It was very comfortable. Chapter 759. Then, can you promise that you'll tell me when you find out what's wrong? Mu Qiqi lay on Xingzhao's lap again and said, in the past few years I've always believed in you, respected you, relied on you and accepted your careful care. However, sometimes, I also want you to treat me equally and not always treat me like a child. Xingzhao lowered his head and looked at Mu Qiqi. He realized that he had been thinking more and more about this recently, but it was still developing in a good direction. So he nodded. Forget it. If you don't make me worry anymore, I'll definitely not be used to it. As long as the professor really needs you, I won't stop him. You promised me. You can't go back on your word. Xingzhao held Mu Qiqi's hand and couldn't help but roll his eyes at her. When have I ever gone back on my word? That was true. Mu Qiqi was relieved. She returned to the dining table and ate her breakfast seriously. However, throughout breakfast, Mu Qiqi kept peeking at Xingzhao. She didn't know why this man was so good-looking. No matter how she looked at him, she didn't get tired of him. Xingzhao knew that burning gaze, but he didn't interfere. It was fine if it was his, but if it was someone else, who would have the guts to do so? After breakfast, Tang Yan entered the branch office for a meeting. However, before he entered the office, old Qing came up to him with a frown. Captain Tang, the chief wants you to go to his office. Tang Yan nodded. He had guessed it because of the business card he had picked up earlier. Tang Yan, hurry up and close the suicide case of Chongrong's employee. I have a new case here that I need you to handle immediately. Tang Yan sneered faintly, but he took out the card and placed it on the chief's desk. Although I don't know if the previous 3 suicides of Chongrong were because of this, I'm sure that the 5 suicides are inextricably linked. Moreover, there will be more murders soon. When the chief saw the business card, he was stunned. If the chief wants to be a confused person, I can only follow suit. It's just that I'm starting to wonder why I'm wearing this police uniform. Many years ago, the prisoners I sent to prison are now eyeing my family and even my lover covetously. But I've never regretted it because I know that I've done the right thing. But now I've seen through too much. I know that the real culprit is free and I know that the deceased is wronged, but what can I do as a criminal police officer? If the director wants to close the case with suicide, then I won't want to wear this uniform anymore. After that, Tang Yan turned around and wanted to leave the chief's office, but he was called back by the chief. Stop right there. Are you even human? The chief was also angry. Do you think that you're the only one who's upset? I've been a police officer for more than 30 years and I've caught countless criminals. I also want to catch all the criminals in this world in one fell swoop, but there are times when I have the will but not the strength. Then there's nothing more to say. Wait. The director stood up and blocked Tang Yan's way. If I allow you to investigate this case, how long will it take for you to give me a satisfactory answer? Tang Yan shook his head. Director, I can't give you any guarantee. The director took a deep breath and finally slapped the table fiercely. I'll give you a week because I can only withstand the pressure for a week. Let's see how far you can go first. Thank you, director. Take it back, you bastard. The director gritted his teeth because he knew what it meant to allow Tang Yan to investigate this case. Tang Yan took back the business card and returned to the conference room. He immediately called for a meeting. Tang Yan planned to find some connections between the suicide of the young girl and the physical evidence of Xing Kai framing Huang Yao. He had a feeling that the people who were stirring up trouble behind the scenes in Jianchuan were the same group. Of course, before the meeting, Tang Yan called Xiao in advance. "What's the matter? I feel that investigating Chongrong Electronics case is like shaking a volcano. It's very dangerous. Can I borrow CEO Xing's financial resources to set up a security system? There are some things that the police can do, but there are also some things that the police can't do." Tang Yan said it so directly. Of course, Xiao understood. That idiot Sheng Kai probably didn't know what kind of quagmire he had fallen into. Not only did he become someone else's pawn, but he also wanted to drag the Xing family and Zhongting down with him. Moreover, Zhongting's current strength was inextricably linked to the Shen family. It had already been feared by many people. Even without Sheng Kai being the executioner in the middle, there would probably be people looking for trouble with him soon. I've said it before. I'll increase my investment in this area. If you need manpower or financial resources, just tell me. I've already prepared this fund. Is 1 billion enough? Thank you for your generosity, Zhou Xian, but I need more people like Su Che. With money, are you afraid that you won't be able to hire people? Xiao chuckled. Originally, he only wanted to be a pure businessman. However, after interacting with Secretary He for a long time, he also understood a principle. He was in the military industry. Now that the Shin family was in charge of Jianchuan, he could have a smooth journey. However, in a few years, when the time came, the number of people he blocked would be the number of people who would come to settle the score with him. There's one more thing. I want to borrow Chi. Hearing Tang Yan's request, Xiao smiled. But at most, he thought that the professor would need Chi. He did not expect Tang Yan to ask for her personally. Xiao Qi's observation is different from ordinary people. It's a pity that she's only a forensic doctor. She can be a criminal police officer. Although you're her guardian angel, you can't deny that she has the ability. Tang Yan's words were much more convincing than the little one's own words. Of course, Xiao would naturally agree to it when he heard it. I don't have any other request. You must ensure her safety. After the conversation, they hung up in a hurry. Then Tang Yan returned to the office and sorted out the case with everyone. At noon, Mu Qiqi received a call from the professor. She was so happy that she almost flew into the air. Even so, Mu Qiqi still called Xiao to ask for his opinion. Go ahead. Xiao kept his word. After that, Mu Qiqi was borrowed again. The students from the forensic science faculty were quite dissatisfied. But who asked her to be the top student even if she didn't go to class? Don't be jealous. Mu Qiqi became a forensic assistant and handled so many dead bodies. She has accumulated so much experience, but you can't even beg for it. Are you all still hoping that she will fail? She has actual combat experience. How can she fail? However, the students' discussion was behind the scenes. Mu Qiqi did not know about it. Chapter 760. After Mu Qiqi arrived at the branch office, Tang Yan prepared a new work ID for her. Go to the autopsy room to look at the body first. Then I'll wait for you to go to the crime scene, Tang Yan said to Mu Qiqi. Is Xianxia all right? Mu Qiqi asked as she hung up her work ID. We'll talk about private matters later. Go to work first, Tang Yan urged. Mu Qiqi nodded and quickened her pace to the autopsy room. When the professor saw her appear, he quickly showed her the autopsy results. This is the poison test report. Arsenic trioxide? Mu Qiqi's expression was rather complicated. Logically speaking, this thing is often used in the paint industry and glass factories. Can electronics factories get it easily? This girl is really ruthless to herself. Under normal circumstances, it's enough to kill her. Whether it's suicide or homicide, of course, the more the better. The professor pulled the body out for Mu Qiqi and prepared gloves for her. What was arsenic trioxide? In layman's terms, it was arsenic. It was extremely poisonous. We have to find out why she committed suicide and how this thing got into her hands, the professor instructed Mu Qiqi. When you go to the scene later, you have to observe carefully. I understand. Even though the cause of death was clear, Mu Qiqi still had to examine the body again. Of course, just like the young girl from before, there were no suspicious traces on the body, nor were there any injuries. There were no biological fibers or fingerprints of other people. It's about time. Captain Tang is still waiting for me. I'll be leaving first, Mu Chichi said to the professor after looking at the body. Go ahead. The professor waved at her. Mu Chichi returned to the police car, but as soon as she got in, old Qing and the others despised her. Chichi, the smell on your body is back again. I want to smell good too, but I have no choice. I'm a forensic doctor. Why don't you do the autopsy? Mu Chichi rolled her eyes. Forget it. I'd rather sell ham and do field work than deal with those bloody things. Mu Chichi snorted softly and looked at Tang Yan. Have you found the source of the arsenic? Yes, I just got the news. It was indeed bought by the deceased with money, Tang Yan replied. The seller didn't know the purpose of the deceased, but he was greedy for money, so he sold it. At this point, everyone would think that the deceased was courting death. Why does Captain Tang still insist that there's a problem with the case? Because of this. Tang Yan handed the name card to Mu Chichi. Mu Chichi took it and looked at it. She was stunned and frowned. Do you remember the last case where the girl already had a boyfriend? I found this under the girl's bed. I asked old Qing to secretly check the number on the business card. He kept talking to the deceased 3 times a week. Later, the phone was cancelled and I couldn't find any information about the person on the business card. No wonder. Mu Chichi understood. But the strangest thing is that old Qing is sure that this person really existed before. When Mu Chichi heard that, she suddenly looked up. You mean someone destroyed the files for him? It's precisely because we don't know that we have to investigate. Tang Yan didn't reveal anything else. When we arrive at the crime scene later, pay close attention to the information related to this business card. Although old Qing did this, I still feel that you need to see it. Old Qing pursed his lips. He was unhappy, but he had to admit that Xiaoqi was 100 times more careful. I got it. Mu Chichi still had doubts in her heart, but she didn't ask in front of old Qing and the others. After they got out of the car, Mu Chichi said, Captain Tang, you didn't finish what you were saying just now, did you? Tang Yan chuckled and nodded. If old Qing and the others had half of your observation skills, I wouldn't have had to catch you when you went to school. I know a person whose former name is on the business card. Are you saying that this person used his defunct name to commit murder? I hope not. Mu Chichi didn't ask further because of Tang Yan's identity. He was a criminal police officer, and the people around him naturally had something to do with the police industry. This was also the reason why Tang Yan was cautious. The two of them entered Changrong's main gate at the same time. At this time, Xing Kai was bringing Gu Xiling around the park. When enemies met, their eyes turned red. Gu Xiling walked over and said to Mu Chichi, You're really haunting me. You're everywhere. If there wasn't a murder case at Changrong Electronics, you wouldn't be able to see me even if you wanted to. Mu Chichi snorted. There was a hint of arrogance in her tone. However, this made old Qing and the others happy. They were all young ladies from rich families, but the difference was huge. You're just a forensic doctor. What's there to be proud of? Besides, you have a personal grudge against us. Who knows if you'll take this opportunity to avenge your personal grudges. Gu Xiling grabbed Mu Chichi and prevented her from entering Changrong's staff dormitory. After hearing Gu Xiling's words, old Qing was angry. He opened his mouth to retort but was stopped by Mu Chichi. I'm not as free as you. Speaking of which, I still have a private score to settle with you, but not now. Mrs. Xing, ever since I met you, you've always been in a state of ignorance. There's a murder case at Changrong today, but you're still acting recklessly. You're wasting time by stopping me. It won't do Changrong any good. Mu Chichi's tone began to turn cold. Tang Yan also said directly, Mrs. Xing, please don't interfere with official business. After saying that, he brought Mu Chichi to the first scene of the murder case. Gu Xiling wanted to chase after her, but she was stopped by Xing Kai. She has a public position now. Don't pester her endlessly. What can she do to investigate the case? She just wants to cause trouble for Changrong. If you want to stop her, then come up with a way. Yelling here will only embarrass you, Xing Kai said sternly. Isn't our current situation difficult enough? You still have to make things difficult for me here. Gu Xiling found it hard to calm down, but she was helpless. Could Mu Chichi solve the case alone? She suspected that this case could not be closed as a suicide. It was Mu Chichi's doing. She was extremely despicable. Mu Qiqi carefully observed every part of the crime scene. It was such a clean space. The murderer had even cleaned up the traces of the deceased. How could she find new clues? Mu Qiqi took out the business card and thought about it carefully. The last woman had a boyfriend, but this time this woman did not. She was single. She could make the deceased willingly buy arsenic. There must be a connection between the deceased and the murderer. It was just that they had not discovered it. You're tuning in to the Zhou Xian's Legacy YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.